of deliverance from my enemies, till all my fears is gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, God chosen me. Lord has called my name. I've been born again to a family that flows through me. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. It is just about that time. We want to welcome to the studios of Sky 99.5 FM, Dr.Batson, bringing us a program overcoming health issues. It's a time where we get to interact with a good doctor, ask our questions and all of that good stuff. Good morning to you, good sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, and how are you?
I'm doing quite good.
Nice. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company. We had a very interesting week with all this water, but such is life. And, as I told someone, once you have life, well, then all possibilities exist. So, those of you who were affected, I know is not an easy thing, especially from the area in my vicinity, which is primarily bamboo. It was really bad there. So just, driving out of there this morning, seeing the mountain and stuff put on the side of the road. But, how do you comfort people who lose certain things? But at the same time, as I said, there's life. And once there's life, there's possibility. Always remember that. Nice. So, let's get into the thicker things. So today, of course, we're discussing health. We try our utmost to ensure that we able to answer as much questions as we can. So keep in mind, try to get your questions in early as regards to your WhatsApp and whatnot. Today's discussion, we're going to deal with arthritis. I decided that I would speak a bit on arthritis, primarily rheumatoid, psoriatic arthritis, fibromyalgia. Those are all forms of arthritis. You actually have a few hundred, in fact, a few thousand different types of arthritis. If you really go into the nitty-gritty of it and they really try to itemize them, you'll realize why they have so many different types of arthritis. But primarily arthritis in its primary or its fundamental issue is really inflammatory response. That's what I want to say. So inflammation is, I always tell persons that's the root cause of all disease. That's becoming more and more common. It's a medical term now. Some years ago, you used to hear much people talking about inflammation, but now, of course, it's something that we're fully aware of and understand that that's one of the reasons or one of the contributing factors for someone to actually end up ill, sick. Good. So that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss what, who primarily are affected by arthritis. What can what are some of the symptomology associated with arthritis? What do you experience? What is normally recommended? And, how does diet and exercise really contribute to this situation in terms of either fixing it or making it worse? Because, of course, if the diet is not proper and the diet has inflammatory foods, a lot of persons are not aware rather that there are foods that are inflammatory in nature, which means they actually contribute and add or increase inflammatory response in the body. So, I mean, anybody with any kind of common sense will understand that that's something that you really don't want to be partaking too much of. I mean, in between. But I know if something is going to make me sick, I'm not going to eat it. That's why I don't understand how people, anyway, let me just say that, but alcohol is something that always confused me. I don't understand why people drink and then you're sick. I just don't get it, you know? So that's what we're going to speak about. And of course, how do we at Batson Associates really address that? You know, what can be done? Is there a diet that you could do? Are there certain foods that will help in reducing the inflammatory response? So look forward to a vibrant, as usual, program. Please ensure, guys, that you make me work. Please, I am here at your disposal. Please use me. Thank you very much. So don't, you all know what I mean. Don't wait until the program finishes to send in the millions of questions. I mean, I can only.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm giving them. You know, I'm trying my best to ensure that they understand that we need to get that done as quickly and possible as possible today, rather, in really addressing that situation. Let me say a pleasant good morning to our social media listeners. Keep in mind, those of you who are listening, those of you who are recommending us, those of you who, you know, you came to Batson Associates and you were satisfied, you feel better, you look better, you know, recommend the Facebook page is Batson Associates Limited. On Facebook, on Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT, and on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Dawn Ellis. She says, pleasant Sunday morning, Batson Associates. Miss Teresa Fort D'Souza. Good morning, Dr. Batson, watching from Florida. I know Miss Dawn Ellis is also from the US. I can't remember exactly which part. So, you know, we have our clients from all over the world. Miss Marge Hill, she says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Miss Kamla Samaru. Good morning to you. Miss Pamela Moses, always in the house. Miss Carol Myers, like so many of, you know, these wonderful individuals here who continue to log on, listen, and, you know, share, help persons, you know, to really feel better, because that's the most important thing, you know. At the end of the day, you know, as I started the conversation, you know, once you have health, sky's the limit. Possibilities. So let us help you attain some possibilities today by making you healthier in some way. Miss Frederica Joseph says, good morning, Dr. Batson, watching from New York. And Miss Tekla Downing, she says, blessings to you, Dr. Batson. Miss Dawn Ellis is actually in Columbus, Ohio. Good. On Instagram, as I said, we are Batson Associates TT. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Anne Corridon. Good morning to you. Serious but collective. These Instagram names always get me, but I like that one though. And of course, on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Keep in mind our contact information, our clinics. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Mooch Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That number is 223-7515. And as we go along, we'll continue with the rest. So as soon as you have your questions, you will let me know and we will move accordingly.
Okay, sure.
So arthritis, pain. You always have a pain. You have a back pain and knee pain and neck pain. We know when you're dealing with pain, we're primarily addressing the central nervous system in the human body, right? So those pain, they are actually pain receptors in your body that give your body the indication that, listen to me, something is wrong. I always tell persons, pain is an indication that something is wrong and it needs to be addressed. Now, as I was saying before, when people talk about pain, we realize, especially in the realm of arthritis, that it has a lot to do with inflammatory response. So what really is inflammation, if we're going to say that? So inflammation is a normal response in the human body. So and that primarily has to do with your immune system. So inflammation, I'll give you an example. Okay, so let's say you fall down. You hit your head, you bounce your knee or something like that. What happens? Almost immediately, it becomes what? Swollen. So that swelling inside of there is actually as a consequence of inflammatory response, which is all the body's white blood cells and the body's defense mechanism rush into that particular area. It might, if it's a cut, it has to do some sort of clotting or blocking to ensure that, you don't bleed to death. That actually is a part of the whole inflammatory aspect of the body, or what inflammation is involved. So it is a good thing to have inflammation in the body. What makes it an issue is when you have too much, like everything else. I always tell persons that the main purpose of the human body is to establish, I should say rather, and maintain homeostasis, balance, equilibrium. So anytime you're sick, you have diabetes, you have arthritis, you have frequent headaches. That is something I couldn't deal with. I had a headache yesterday, and it was a hunger headache because of where I wasn't able to eat on my scheduled time that I would, eat. And as a result of that, I ended up with a hunger headache, and it was terrible. It was really terrible. But there are people who have headaches on a daily basis for years. So what's causing that? You have some sort of inflammation that is actually contributing to that. So as it relates to arthritis and pain, arthritis is usually accompanied by pain and swelling, because that is part of the inflammatory response. So that's primarily what is inflammation. As it relates to rheumatoid arthritis is primarily parasite in your bones. So you have parasite that are in your bones that is actually causing an inflammatory response. But of course, the next question that arises would be, how did parasite get in your bones in the first place? And that's something we'll discuss in a little bit. Then you have osteoarthritis, which is arthritis with inflammatory response. So you have pain and swelling. But the difference with osteoarthritis is that you now have a bone density situation. What do I mean? So the human body, or your bones, are made up of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in the form of what is known as calcium phosphate. When your body uses, or your body has excessive amount of acid, we know in chemistry, in order to neutralize acid, you need an alkaline or some sort of base. So it means that that base in the body, which is calcium, which is stored in your bones, because your bones are the warehouses for calcium, because of the excess acid or acidity, the body consistently have to be removing calcium in order to bring balance, that chemical balance. And because of that excessive withdrawal of calcium from the bones, you end up with osteoporosis, which now translates to osteoarthritis. So it's a bone density situation that has some aspect of inflammatory response in it. So that's something that, again, you need to pay very close attention to. And that's really what it is. Psoriatic arthritis is more, that psoriasis is a condition of the integumentary system or the skin. So when you have psoriasis, what you really essentially have is inflammatory response in the skin or in the integumentary system, because your integumentary system is not only your skin, it's your skin and your appendages. So your hair, nails, hair, nails, those type of things are or makes up the integumentary system. It is actually described as the skin and its appendages, right? Which would involve various aspects, as I just mentioned. So when you have inflammatory response in those areas, it is now translated, or it reaches in the body to the point where it is now inflammation, and you have what is referred to as psoriatic arthritis. Good. And those primarily are the three that are most common. Fibromyalgia is a form of arthritis, but it's a form of arthritis that is not only the musculoskeletal system. So it's not only pain and swelling, but with fibromyalgia comes a central nervous system issue where the nerve endings are significantly affected. And as a result of that, your pain receptors. So in other words, someone who has fibromyalgia, they will have pain, but they will also have tingling going along with the pain. So like when persons talk about junjuni, which of course we know is a colloquial term for, pins and needles cramping, it is an indication that you have a problem with most of the time circulation or improper circulation in various parts of the body. So those primarily are your three forms of arthritis. What we're going to discuss now is, how is it that you end up with arthritis? What causes it, as I said. So in the first instance, as I mentioned, with rheumatoid arthritis, you have parasites in your bones. How do parasites get in your bones? So the thing is, Yeah, interesting, eh? But so I'm going to tell you exactly why. So where digestion is concerned in the body, the most amount of digestion takes place in the small intestines, primarily, right? Your intestines is a semi-permeable membrane, which means it behaves primarily like a strainer. So there are some holes that are there, and of course, that food goes from the small intestines primarily into your bloodstream, and your body utilizes it. Now, the thing is, there's something known as leaky gut syndrome. Now, if you have leaky gut syndrome is a situation where it means the holes in the strainer are larger than they're supposed to be. So as a result of that, pathogens, which comprise of bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa, or worms, actually leave the intestines. They get into the bloodstream, and when they're in the bloodstream, they are now in that particular channel. And as a result of that, they begin to take up what? Residence. And because of that, remember, these are what? These are pathogens. They are primarily bacteria, virus, fungus, whatever the case may be. But remember, they're no longer confined to the small intestines, right? So if you have to leave a particular area in Trinidad to live, and you might have to go in an area that's, a little hotspot, and you have to stay there. You have no other choice. You have to stay there. You now have to reside there. It means you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to adapt. You can't be the same person, right? So that adaptation that takes place is the same form of adaptation that takes place with the organisms that was once in your intestines. These fellas no longer in the intestines, they're in the bloodstream now. And as a result of that, remember, they are parasites primarily. What do parasites? All parasitic relationships benefit who? The parasite or the host?
Parasite.
The parasite, exactly so. Yeah. So all living organisms do what? They eat and they excrete. So think about that. Think about that. So you have millions, possibly billions of pathogens that are in your bloodstream now, that have left the bloodstream and entered into your bones. Remember, your blood, everything in the human body gets blood, everything, including the hair on your head. People who end up bald most of the time is because they have poor circulation. Those hair follicles are not being fed as they're supposed to. So as a result of that, the hair follicles begin to die. So circulation, there is circulation in your bones. Red blood cells are produced where? In your bone marrow, right? So the thing is, these parasites now take up residence in your bones, and they are eating and they're excreting. They're having a whole fun time and a party inside of you, So what's going to happen to you? You are going to end up with inflammation. You know why? Because the body is doing naturally what it is supposed to do, which is to rush there to get rid of those parasites, because they have no right to be there in the first place. And that is the battle that the body has. Hence the reason why you have the swelling, the pain. So, of course, we're going to describe just now how to fix it. Let me say again, a pleasant good morning to Miss Maureen Eccles, Miss Felicia James, Jennifer Valentine, Miss Ovalette McFarlane, Miss Betty Phillip. Pleasant good morning to all these lovely ladies who are on our live with us this morning. Miss Vidya Subnat, pleasant good morning to you. She says, good morning, Dr. Batson. Okay, so there's a question she asking about her cough. So I'm going to address that question in a little bit, Miss Vidya. Yeah, so because of this challenge that the body has now, you're now going to end up with pain. You cannot walk. Just recently, I was having a conversation with someone, and they're telling me, hey, my sister have arthritis real bad, and, she's not able to walk again. I was like, of course, what madness you're telling me. And this is a young person. This person is like 35 years. How do you at 35 years not be able to walk? That's madness, So they were asking, do you think you could help the situation? And I, of course, have, with a proper assessment, I said, yes, of course, I believe I could correct the situation. We have helped significantly, and we have testimonies like that on our Facebook websites, whatever the case may be, where we have helped persons with arthritis. I remember having a client who was confined to a wheelchair. And, thank God at the end of 3 months, they don't use the wheelchair again. And we have worked with them for that. That maybe was about 2 years. And this person is walking properly now. They no longer have the deformity of the joints and those type of things. Arthritis is something. If you do not deal with arthritis properly, like most things, but arthritis is an unforgiving kind of disease, or imbalance, I should say, in the body. it really messes you up. It messes you up badly, 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 to the point where you cannot move. You become deformed. And of course, your good doctor just be looking at people and I was wondering, like, Jesus, what are these people doing? Why is it that you're in this condition? You cannot be taking medication for all those years and you end up crippled, really? Something went wrong somewhere. Something was lost in transmission.
Yeah.
Something. That message didn't come through properly. We had a lot of distortion and noise there. You cannot have arthritis for years. You cannot. Well, let me just say you cannot. You should not. If you have it for years, anything for years, it means something is wrong. We need to dot our I's and we need to cross our T's. Something in that paragraph, some of those T's missing crossing and some of the I's missing some dots. That whole book here right there, all the I's and T's incomplete. Something is wrong. And that's what we're going to discuss today. How do we correct the wrong in that particular situation? Because you cannot be living with pain. I tell people I have the lowest pain threshold in the world. When I was a young man, I remember growing up, I get a ring hairs from a teacher and I take everything in the fiber of my being, not to, I mean, you know, people might think, but there's a teacher in it, but yeah, how you go ring my hairs, man? Come on. Yeah, ring hairs? No. You see, ring hairs and pinch? I used to go mad. Yeah, don't probably go pinch me, man. Come on, man. Nah, man. But it, man. That way you have buttocks for it. That's a piece of flesh there. I some lash on my bottom or something. But don't pinch, man. I go pinch, man, ring my hairs. Lowest pain threshold. Anybody, I cannot take pain at all. Which is why my blood is very close to my skin. Don't hit me. That's war. You know, so I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, how are we going to fix this pain? And that's what we're going to discuss. So let me just run through quickly this statement that, Miss Helen Marshall, she says good morning as well. And Miss Wendy Chattan-Jones, she says good morning, Dr. Batson. Can you tell me when you will be getting, the Sincera eye drop, please? Miss Jones will be getting that eye drop by the estimated time here. It should reach close to like maybe the 24th somewhere. Christmas time. That was based on the last check that I checked, which was Friday. So we will be getting that within December. So you should have it for the new year. I know a lot of persons waiting on that particular eye drop, and that's because our suppliers were out of stock for a while. And of course, they had us on a list, a priority list, and our priority was like 4 months. So that's just to tell you. Good product, so it is in demand. Let me say, Miss Jay-Z, Janice Innes, she says, good morning, checking in from New York City. So in those particular situations, we need to understand and correct this pain situation. So when at the end of this program today, some people, or I hope most persons who are listening, would understand really what arthritis is and how we can now help you to improve your situation. You can't be sick for years. You cannot Trinidad and Tobago. I always tell you all, I'm not in the politics of medicine. I don't argue with anybody. I'm not going through that. I don't have time. All I am saying to you is that common sense make before book, and you cannot be sick for years. If you have the cold, good sir, if you have the cold for, what's the longest you ever get the cold for?
A few days.
A few days. You ever went a week yet? You think you went a week ever in your life? A week, 2 weeks?
Not 2 weeks. Probably a week.
Probably a week, right? Good.
Probably a week, but I don't want it more than.
Good. So let me ask you something. So if you have cold-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms, that a week pass, 2 weeks pass, a month pass, 2 months pass, you wouldn't be very concerned?
Yes.
But wouldn't you be even more concerned if it is your cold lasts, or these symptoms last a year or 2 years, and most importantly, you're taking medication for it?
Yeah, something wrong.
That would have been even more alarming to me. Like nothing working, you know. Albert Einstein said the only people who do the same thing over and over expecting a different result is mad people. That's the height of insanity. One of the best statements that was ever made by anybody, in my opinion, because it is the truth. You can't, yeah. So the thing is, you have a problem, you know. You're taking medication for the problem, but you're still sick. No. Something wrong there. Something wrong. And I'm not making a controversial statement. I'm just being common sense. Because you want to get better. Good. So, one of the things we do at Batson and Associates, and one of the things in order for us to address that, is we need to address the inflammation. How do we address the inflammation? First on the list, the mantra, hydration. Water, 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 and more water. Not the type we get in the flood, but water. You need to drink water. Your bones themselves, the human body is what, 70% water, right? We don't have to be a mathematician in the audience to understand that 70% is way, way more. They didn't say your body is not 30% water, it's not 20% water. Your body is 70% water. Think about that, girl. Really sit down and rationalize that in your mind. What does that mean? It means your skin, your muscles, your hair. People who have dry hair and dry scalp and thing, a lot of times dehydration, you know. And then the type of water you're drinking, that is our next whole discussion, because the type of water you drink does make a difference. People look at water in its essence as just, well, water is life-giving, you know. If you really understand and study what water is from its molecular aspect and that type of thing, water is a powerful thing, you know, powerful, powerful. You could put water in a room and change the whole energy in the room, you know. Vibration. Everything in the universe has vibration, or what we call frequency. The frequency of the earth is, I want to check it for you just now. I can't remember. I think it's 6 point something or something. So I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'll check it just now. That particular frequency or vibration, if it is changed in any way, it is going to make life difficult, or if not impossible to survive, if that vibration is not the correct vibration. I'll tell you why. If you take people and put them below the ground, so there's something we call bunkers, right? So in war, in time of war, they used to put persons in bunkers. There are bunkers now still, below the ground, right? So protection, whatever the case may be. But when you go below the ground or under the ground, you are no longer getting the frequency of the earth. That frequency is not the same frequency, you know. So people...
That is 7.83 hertz.
Ah, good, correct, nicely. Thank you very much for that, sir. Good. So when you... And there was an experiment that was done by a doctor in the... That was, I think, in the 1950s. And what he did, he took persons and put them in bunkers, like 3 stories below the ground. And when they took these persons there was a large tunnel-like yeah, it was like a large tunnel that they had. But the tunnel could have been sealed off at intervals. Remember, it's an experiment they're doing. So his objective was to determine how would frequency affect these individuals. Listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5. In less than a month time, everyone who was below there got sick. Every single one of them. And what they would do is that they would actually gauge the symptomology of the sickness that they would get. So some persons started to experience pain, some persons experienced nausea, some persons started to experience changes in blood pressure, changes in the blood sugar, heart rate. All those things started to, you know, dance all over the place. But what they would do is that routinely they would open the channel that would allow the frequency from the earth to come in. And what do you think happened to them when that was done? They started to get better. Yeah. I remember in Wassa, or anyone who works in an organization that has a vault, the persons who used to work there do not work 8 hours. They had a shorter space of time. I believe it was 4 hours they used to work. And there was an allowance that they got for that discomfort. So all over the world, in terms of health and safety requirements, people who work in vaults are not supposed to work 8 hours a day. Right? So because if you stay there long, the air quality inside of there, but it's not only the air quality, you know, it is the frequency. Frequency and vibration affects every single thing, including human beings.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So take it. And that's why in nature, certain things in nature have a different frequency and vibration. So trees, for example, carry a different plants. Different organisms have different vibrations in which they're actually able to operate. That's why when you go to the sea, why I think when you go to the beaches, feel automatically good. If you go to the beach and you're sick, after a while, when you go to the sea, you might even go in the water, you know, just the environment there, you start to feel different because the frequency is different. Can't take me and put me in the middle of Port Spain to live. No. I don't want to live there. I said have buildings, a concrete jungle. But if you live in bush, you feel different. Simple.
Yeah.
And that is because of frequency and vibration. So one of the things that you need to do is ensure that your frequency and vibration is balanced. And that is where it comes in things like deep breathing, meditation. Those things help with your frequency. Balance your chakras, as our colleagues in Ayurvedic medicine call it. The Chinese call it, they call it your chi. Ayurvedic medicine say chakras and your prana, which is a matter of balance. And that has to do with energy medicine as it relates to the vital body or the energy body, which is very, very important. So those are some of the things you need to pay attention. Your water, that whole frequency aspect. And the next thing, of course, is what are you eating? What are you putting in your body? I just mentioned that there are certain foods that are inflammatory. So let us just run through some of them quickly. The number one on the list and the main culprit is sugar, sugar. Sugar is the most inflammatory substance as it relates to the human body. The most inflammatory. Coffee running a steady second. So to all the coffee drinkers, pleasant good morning to you. A steady second. Milk, right there in the race too. Canned foods, preservatives, those type of things. Processed food in the race. Because the thing is, when you have arthritis now, when you're eating those things on a regular basis, you are now doing what? Adding to an already existing problem. So the big term for that is you're exacerbating the situation. You're making the situation worse. People don't understand that. So you're taking the people medication they're giving you, because in Western medicine, to treat arthritis, they give you steroids.
Yeah.
I tell them plain and simple, I advertising myself as a rheumatologist next year, an integrated rheumatologist. Because you cannot, there nobody ever come to me for arthritis and didn't get better. You cannot have pain for years. You have a knee day, you're wrapping up the knee, you're rubbing the knee, you're sapping the knee. This bad knee, you have a bad ankle, you can't walk good. You have a bad back, a bad shoulder. You try all kind of things. It is because you have what? Inflammation there. And if you don't, you have to deal with inflammation properly. So what we want to do, we're not going to suppress inflammation, because that's what steroids primarily do. Prednisolone is, which is why prednisolone is the most recommended corticosteroid in the world in medicine.
Yeah.
It's a quick fix. But let me tell you something. My great-grandmother taught me a lesson. She said, listen to me, young man. When you grow and you grow into adult, never. You see shortcut? Shortcut is the worst thing you could think about. Do it the proper way. So all the shortcut that you're taking there, you're making sense. So and on top of that, you're taking the medication and you're eating badly. So what you're really doing, you're adding insult to injury. You're just making the situation worse. And if you see anyone who has arthritis really bad, I tell you, they're immobile. You become crippled. Your fingers they start bending on each other. You become distorted. And that, to me, is unacceptable. Unacceptable. You can't be doing treatment for years and you end up, and this is not being facetious or anything like that. These people's hands look like it's crabs, like it's a gun you have or something like that. It really, really, really is a terrible thing. Some people can't find a wheelchair. Some people can't find a bed. What kind of life is that? So what went wrong in that whole situation there? What went wrong is that you didn't deal with the root cause of the problem. Remember in the initial what I was saying earlier on, I said that arthritis is parasite in your bones. So how are we going to get these fellas out? And listen to me, we will get them out. We will get them out. There's a way to get it out. And that's where Batson and Associates comes in. And the secret, or not necessarily secret, one of the ways to do that is to deal with the gastrointestinal system, the most important system in the human body. It is the most important system. Your colon is the most important organ in your body. The brain and the eye and your kidney could fight for a second. Your heart. But you see your colon, he run things. Because if that fella stop work, you're in problems. You cannot assimilate food, which is take in the necessary nutrients for the body to utilize it. So you cannot assimilate or digest food. And then you cannot evacuate or eliminate waste properly from the body. So you see the mess you're in?
Yeah.
So to all the constipated people out there, or the people who do not have a proper bowel movement on a daily basis, here's a once a week. Here's a twice a week. Here's not once every 2 weeks. No. You are in the process of dying. I hate it. No. It's not about it. No. That is unacceptable, and you need to fix it. You're suffering from, anytime you have gastrointestinal problems, try not to deviate too much. You are a walking time bomb. So all the people with Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, all them fancy inflammatory, because all those are inflammatory or inflammation of what part of the body? The gastrointestinal system, which I just tell you is your master system. So imagine you have an engine room and your engine room underwater. What's going to happen to you just now? Well, exactly so. So that is what's going on with plenty of people. Your engine room flood. Real bacchanal taking place there. You cannot get better. You cannot, absolutely, you will not get better because you are not doing what? Dealing with the root cause of your issue. So all the arthritis people who listening to this program, whether you like me, whether you agree or you disagree, try at least to take some of those recommendations I recommended there. Water. Because hydration is one of your first forms. In integrative medicine, we are taught, and we understand fully that hydration is everything. And I remember when one of my lecturers, we were doing a class in iridology. So iridology is the ability or the science of looking in the eyes. I primarily examine the iris of the eye, magnify it, and your iris actually tells a number of different things. If it was in an accident, it tells about your kidneys, your liver. It speaks about your constitution. So there are some people who have what is referred to as a strong constitution. You know what is your constitution? Your constitution is your foundation in your body as it relates to the general ability of your body to fight off or ward off disease and that type of thing. So there are some people generally who have a stronger constitution. Could you call it genetics? Some part, yes. But it could also be attained by proper diet and exercise, meditation, and that type of thing. So in other words, when you were younger, you could have a weak constitution. And as you get older, your constitution gets stronger. And I believe that was the case with me because I was a sickly child. I used to get a lot of headaches and all kind of nonsense. And that's because I didn't used to drink water. I didn't understand the value of drinking water. And, my parents, they don't really know that that was primarily causing the problems. Because I used to have migraine headaches for sometimes days I couldn't go to school, right? So essentially I had a weak constitution. And then as I got older and I started to study and do certain things, I recognized and I understood certain things. And now, way stronger constitution. Your foundation. And the thing is, a lot of older persons, like people like my mother, so people in the 60s, or even like my grandmother, in persons in the 80s, they normally have a better constitution in the sense that they had a better foundation. Their foods was better foods. This younger generation, he had a constitution weak. The asthma, the arthritis, these children, this new generation, weak constitution. And what's going to change that constitution or that foundation is what you put in your mouth, your diet, what you put in your mind and all too, as well, is what it is we need to work on. And that's where Batson and Associates comes in. So let me give you the telephone numbers for the Shoguna's office. Keep in mind, we have our special, blood analysis, the magnetic resonance analysis scan. Later on, I'm going to tell you how that helps us to help you. Because I am a advocate of diagnostics. But sometimes I believe diagnostics sometimes just way over because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you quickly, because I've had a lot of persons who have come to us and they have come with books of reports and that type of thing. I had given you all that testimony. Well, not testimony, that situation with that client that we had that This particular person had headaches for years. And they brought literally a bong volume for me to read of medical reports from different specialists and that kind of thing. And I'm not discrediting the work that was done, but my thing is, I didn't even go through all the material because I didn't have to go through all the material. It would have been unnecessary. Because they weren't dealing with what? The foundation of the individual. That individual didn't used to drink water. The diet was atrocious, atrocious, atrocious. The bowel movement was left to be desired one day for the week. And I told them, I said, this is the reason why you are sick. I told that individual, I said, if you don't fix this, you will not get better, you know. They weren't happy initially because maybe they didn't believe what I was telling them. But when they started the program and they followed the instruction, 2 weeks after, when we called them, praises, they're singing. They said, Dr. Batson, I should have come to you years ago. Problem solved, you know. Problem solved. And I talk about someone who went by 6 different specialists. A barrage of reports, MRI scan, CT scan, all the manner of blood tests you could think about. They did T3, T4, TSH, which is the thyroid aspect. They did ESR, which is erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. That came out high. Because that is what, anytime your erythrocyte sedimentation ratio is high, that's one of the inflammatory markers they look for. CA125 is the next very important marker in blood tests. A lot of medical experts don't take it into consideration. They like biopsies, but I don't believe in cutting up people and taking pieces of you to go and check. Go and check what? Why are you doing that? Lots of people would disagree with me. I have no problem with that, but I am not a fan of biopsies at all. You do a CA125, there's CA125, and then there's a next one that they have. We do a ESR, the erythrocyte sedimentation ratio, and you come into Batson and Associates, and I get one of my consultants, we do a blood analysis on you. Detailed. Live blood, dry blood. Because dry blood gives us the ability to look at something known as biological terrain. When we're speaking about terrain, we're talking about what? We're talking about land, right? In terms of land and how land is. So there are specific types of terrain. So you could have desert terrain, you could have mountainous terrain, you have different types of terrain. And there are certain organisms that would exist in desert terrain that cannot exist in swamp terrain. You all get me right? Good. Common sense. I remember I was fortunate to go to the first time in my life, Ashim, the Caroni Bird Sanctuary. And one of the things that
I ain't go yet.
You haven't gone yet? Yeah. Some one of my good friends took me. But they asked me, they say, you ever went to the bird sanctuary? I said, no. There's like, yeah, shame, big Trinidadian. This person is not a Trinidadian. It's a big Trinidadian like you, and you never went to the bird. I said, no, I never really went to the bird sanctuary. I mean, but anything with nature I like. So I went, watch me, and I was so impressed. I was impressed beyond words. I was like, these people not getting proper advertising. We need to, watch me, every child in this country should go to that bird sanctuary.
Yeah.
Every single person. But here what it is I learned, and this is something I didn't know, is in the mangrove. Now, I know mangrove was always interesting terrain again. But are you aware that there are there are 3 types of mangroves that we have there? And there's a particular one mangrove, I can't remember which one of the 3, that has the ability to actually take salt water, extract the salt, and utilize the water.
Yeah.
But that is amazing. That is amazing. Basically, you know what that is? It means the tree is a desalination plant. You could imagine that. And again, because the terrain, and because of the terrain, that tree, that mangrove that would have been there for thousands of years, had no other choice but to do what? Adapt.
Yeah.
I also learned with the Scalatibus, which but I knew about it before, but I didn't get it in depth because I didn't know what the crab looked like. So you know why Scalatibus, scarlet in color, right?
Yes, because of those crabs.
Those crabs that they eat, and they say they normally take like about 3 years to actually change into this bright scarlet color. Amazing again, and that's again adaptation. But the point is that is because of the terrain. Because of the terrain and that particular crab being there, that now becomes the food source for the Scalatibus, which is now scarlet in color because of the crab that it's eating. Yes. So when we do blood analysis and we look at your biological terrain, and some people think blood analysis is a hoax and it doesn't make any sense. Listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5. I am telling you, this morning What's the date? Right, the 4th of December, 2022. It is now 10:21. You see that blood analysis? I don't care where you went. Next year, we have the pension special that we continue in, which has that blood analysis. And even outside of the pension special, the one that we have for 2, you make some time and do that. I'm telling you, you would not regret it. You would not regret it. Because when we see that biological terrain, watch me, stories could tell you why you have. You don't even have to fill out a paper. There's some people just want to test you. I remember some years ago, even up to now, there's some people just come and literally, I wouldn't say lie, but they fib, they tell a little white thing, or they withhold information because they want to see if we really know what we're saying. Not with Batson. Not with Batson and Associates. You win that battle. I'm telling you. We will tell you things that you didn't tell us. And they just be like, nah, man. Well, how you know that? People even ask me, well, they do know Obi up inside there. Yeah, how you know that? Because when we look at that blood analysis, that biological terrain, there are markers that are left there. Visible markers that are trained microscopists is actually able to pick up and determine. And based on that information, we are now able to help you. Because that's what you want. You want help. This pain and this arthritis, you cannot have pain for years. How do you live with arthritis? That's madness. You know what it is? You can't move. All these young ladies and them and these mature ladies who have hot foot, or they walk in the whole of High Street. But I spend one nothing with you all. You're up and down Frederick Street, Henry Street, whichever street you're going, because there's a mover. When you have to do what you have to do, you have to do what you have to do. You can't depend on people to carry you, way. Me personally, I can't depend on waiting on people to do nothing for me. So when you want your mobility, tanty, uncle, you don't want to be waiting on your grandchildren and your children to come and carry you away because you have arthritis and your foot hurting. No. So let Batson and Associates help you get better so you could go and do your business for yourself for me, please. Right?
Yes.
So with that being said, let me say a pleasant good morning to my friend, Miss Pauline McKenna. Pauline doing some research here for me. She's a Dr. Batson. The other blood cancer test markers like the CA125 and CA19.9 and the CA15.3, right? So those are primarily 3 of the cancer markers that they look for when they do in terms of the blood. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Ms. Helen Marshall. She said, Dr. Batson, you are speaking the real truth. I am an RA patient and I now started the inflammation formula and the Alkagen water. I am on my 2nd week. However, I am in still a lot of pain. Do you have anything else besides drinking the formula and the water? Yes, let me just answer a question. Due to the increased level of pain. Yes, I do. There's a product that if you do not have allergy to shell foods and you do not belong to the religious class of SDA, 7 Days Adventists, then there's a product that we have, which is an omega with astaxanthin, which helps significantly with pain. We got back just week before last. We have gotten in full stock. So by next week, early next week, all the offices would have. I know Shogunas has already. St. James have. DB will get their own Monday. Tobago got as well. So it is called the omega. It's a special type of omega we use with something known as astaxanthin in it. And that helps significantly in the reduction of pain. That is one of the things we use in our pain treatment model, right? So that's what you need to do. So you have to basically address that, deal with that level of inflammatory response. Now, the thing is, let me say something quickly. When you're an arthritis patient and you start a program, you do get sometimes, in some cases, additional pain. However, that is to be expected. Not everybody gets it, maybe 50%, but that is a good sign that sometimes you have to get a little worse until you get better. There is something in the body called healing crisis, which we always try for our clients not to experience, because healing crisis is not a good thing. People with arthritis, their healing crisis would be more pain than they had before. But don't get worried. What it simply means, you need to follow the instruction, because we put certain things in place to ensure that you do not end up with healing crisis. Healing crisis is when toxins try to leave your body faster than your body is able to accommodate. Yeah. So you'll get things like headache, nausea, more pain, acid reflux. But it's not acid reflux, It is the rubbish that is on the lining of your intestines and your guts that's starting to, well, your esophagus primarily. It's just like when you take a cleanse and a detox. Some people, you take a cleanse and your belly start to gripe. Don't correlate with the cleanse. It's because of the rubbish you have inside of it. The more rubbish you have in here, the more the gripe will be. I could tell you that. Yeah. So prepare yourself. When you see again gripe, people who drink Santulan, I remember there was a lady who came to us. And to use Santulan is 3 tea bags, which primarily is going to give you a gallon of tea. A gallon in measurement is 4 liters.
Yes.
We gave young lady the instruction because I sold her the product. This is when I had an office in Port of Spain, in Excellent City Center there. And I gave her the instruction. She was not from Trinidad. She was from London. And I said things. She said, I heard about this product. My sister used this product. I want the Santulan because I have to go to a wedding and I want to lose weight and, you know. I said, no problem. But make sure, I said, what you need to do, you drink your water, whatever the case may be. So Miss Lady, in her great enthusiasm to lose weight and look better because her sister is using the product before her. So the sister losing weight and looking good. So I don't know if she feel it was a competition. What she decided to do. No, I'm telling you. And this is a true experience. She decided, she told me she didn't understand, but I don't believe she didn't understand because, I mean, I gave you and I went over it with you a few times. And she's an intelligent woman, so I believe she understood. I believe she just thought if she used the product stronger, she would have gotten faster results. So what she did, yeah. So what she did is she took the 3 tea bags and she put the 3 tea bags in 1 teacup.
In one? Nah,
yeah. No, I'm telling you. Yeah. And you know these English people with the accent. She was like, oh my God, Dr. Batson, because she called you up. She said, oh my God, I was in the loo. I lived in the loo because she said, oh my God, I thought I was dying. I said, well, what you did? I am killing myself. I was like, lady, I was like, Mama, you crazy? You trying to, but listen to me. The thing is, you sign your form, the form that we gave you, and worse yet, you didn't follow instruction. So this is the long answer. No, nothing bad happened to her. She said, she said, Dr. Batson, my husband, she said, her husband quarrel with her, quarrel. Which is why I know she deliberately did it. Because she said, the husband said, she's saying her sister, which is, I think her name is Pamela or something, it's her sister name. She said, no, she making style on me and how she lose this weight and she going by Dr. Batson and this and that. And she wanted to, she running competition with me. I was sure I will lose the weight fast. And that's why she did it. But she almost succeeded because the thing is, she had some discomfort for like about 2 days. She lived in the washroom. She said, Dr. Batson, I lived in the loo. She said, she said, I'm sore. I said, well, you must be sore. You use the product incorrectly, man. She said, but you know something? So after all the noise and the drama passed, maybe about a few days after, she called me again. She said, but Dr. Batson, you know something? I lost like 15 pounds. I wanted to die. She said, and she really lost weight. So she said, okay, I know I'm not going to do it again. But she said, Dr. Batson, that was the worst experience ever. She said, I was sore.
Now I can imagine what she went through
because I used Santulan and went,
normal dosage. I've been using Santulan this week.
Okay.
And normal dosage.
And you're getting,
you would get your movements.
Yeah, you get your movements. And as I say, when you have rubbish in you, what your movement is beyond the place. Get some jabbing. It's like you're boxing, you know. It's some level up. I cut you getting in a bit. You watch me level, you know. You want to know if you're going mad, but listen to me. That is part of the process. I remember 2 days, this client that came to me. Bad gastrointestinal problem. Bad. And the thing is, when I told her, I said, Ma'am, are you aware of how I didn't want to use the word disgusting, but that's what I was thinking. But I tried to put it, I think I tried to polish it up somewhere. I can't remember the word I used. I said, Ma'am, your intestines is in a mess. I said, you are walking dead. And she literally was a walking dead, you know. I said, Ma'am, you are sick. And you could see it, her countenance, her complexion, her skin. You just know when people are sick, you know.
Yeah.
I tell people that, a layman could look at somebody. You know, you see it. When your complexion dull, you see the difference. One of the greatest, yes,
and stuff like that.
That is it. You look at your seat, your eyes tend to be dull. Your eyes supposed to be bright, white. The whiter your eyes supposed to be white.
Yeah.
So when you're not seeing that, and you're seeing this kind of John, this kind of yellow, this business here going on here, like a choke in your eye, You're not supposed to be looking so. You see somebody throw saffron in your eye. Why is your eye yellow? That is a serious sign. People think jaundice is a colloquial term and a joke. Jaundice is a thing. Of course, it's a real thing. It's a real sickness. Why do you think when babies born in the hospital and they have jaundice, what do you think they do? Why do you think they put them under the light? Yeah. Because we know sunlight is something that actually helps with liver health. You know? That is why they use the light. That is again a frequency mechanism that is used. Some of them don't even know that they're using, but that's what they're using. Yeah. So because, and jaundice, and even when you're jarring jaundice, there is science in the jarring, you know? Because when they use the tarria to jarre jaundice, what they use something with mustard oil in it, you know? Yeah. And what you do when you take the tarria, when you're jarring jaundice, they just take you and let you put your fingers on the tip of the tarria, and tarria make out of what? Let me see if you can help me here. Tarria, no, copper.
Oh yeah. Well, normally those metals.
Yeah, those metals. Yeah, and copper has the ability to do certain things as it relates to pull. Yeah, it helps to pull toxins. And the mustard, that particular mustard component that they use also has the ability as a detoxifier. And that's what it does. Yeah. So that's how it is jarred on this. And that is because, again, you're removing toxins, taking toxins out. So when you hear people tell you that you're not supposed to take cleanse and detox, but nothing does infuriate me more than that when people come to talk that foolishness to me. I remember my doctor, and my doctor says you shouldn't take cleanse, your body does cleanse itself. If you're still talking that nonsense, you're living under a rock, you need to go and examine your brain, you need to test and see if you have a pulse, because you have to be dead. That is the biggest part of nonsense. You take my stupid advice. It is the biggest. You have to cleanse and detoxify. If you do not do that, I am telling you, you are walking dead. Go and make your will, sign up your papers and thing, and pick out your outfit. You're going just now. You are a walking dead. Dead. Whether you like it or you don't like it, you will die. Do not tell me anything about your body does clean itself. Are you crazy? There is normal metabolic functions in the body. You must research something known as glycolysis in the body. There's something known as, in terms of normal metabolic functions, there is serious waste product that is produced in normal metabolic functions. When you breathe, you inhale what? Oxygen, and you exhale what? Carbon dioxide. Could you breathe in carbon dioxide? You shouldn't. You could. You don't know how long you will live, but you shouldn't. The point is, where the carbon dioxide come from? It is a waste product of what? Normal respiration. So when we talk about the other waste products, the waste thing, in fact, the next program I'll do a program. That'll be the program I'll do. There are certain things that happen in the body when you have normal metabolic function, waste buildup. And now with all the fancy food that always be drinking and all the meat and the alcohol and whatever the case may be, no self you have bacchanal inside of it. You need to detoxify your body. So anyone that is telling you that you should not take a detox and you went to them for advice, ask back for your money and leave the office. I tell you so. Yeah. Foolishness. Because your teeth, I always give this analogy, your teeth is exposed. And you ever go to the dentist, when you go to the dentist for your 6 months, I normally go every 4 months. And you clean and the dentist clean. And listen to me, I'm talking about flossing, brushing your teeth, using mouthwash, using this, whatever the case may be. And when the dentist cleans your mouth and you spit, you want to know what is all of that, where that come from? Build-up of what? Yeah. Plaque build-up. So you could imagine your mouth, which is open, you could open your mouth and brush your teeth. You can't open your esophagus. You could open up your esophagus and brush it, scrub it. You can't open up your intestines and clean it. You can't brush your heart. But internally, there are things that you can use to clean and detoxify your body. Understand the dynamics in the thing. And think about it when you're working in places where you have all the people who I always talk to all you. If you're doing jewelry, you're in trouble. If you're a hairdresser, check the research. Check and see if you go and research within the last 25, 30 years, how many hairdressers have died from cancer? Go and do the research. How many people, when you're in agriculture, spraying, you're using things like paraquat, gramaxone, whatever you're doing, even if you're organic, you are exposed to certain things. You have to cleanse and detoxify. It is very easy for people who work in agriculture to end up with cancer, you know. I have a few of them I'm dealing with right now. Different types of cancer, prostate, colon, painters. Always our next set in the bunch. Don't listen at all to nobody. You painting vehicle with no mask on. You're doing woodwork. Yeah, you're paying like a fumes. Are you out of your mind? And then when you get lung cancer, you're crying and you're bawling. You look for that, you buy that wholesale. I always tell persons, and this is nice free advice here, because you know I have to make sure and give all some of that. You see olive oil? If you're a painter, if you're in fact, next year, God's willing, there's a product we're bringing out. Specifically, oils for that problem. You cannot be spraying and working in dust. Men who just sand down, straightener and painter. Well, them is our next set. Hole in your lungs. I dealt with a client who came to me with stage 4 lung cancer. You know what was his job? Straightening and painting. People who work in shipyards, well, they just get the worst. Because people, if you know how it is to clean, the chemicals that is used to clean on that ship and those type of things, watch me. Caustic, lye, and all those type of things. When you inhale that, because if you inhale, a simple thing like Clorox, if you inhale Clorox, that is it. You're in problems. Cleaners, people who work cleaner, they taking a pack of Santulan, 3 bottles of water is not costing you any kind of money. That is not more than $200. You telling me you cannot take a cleanse? Gas station attendants, pump attendants. I remember going to the gas station recently. There's this young lady, nice young lady, very friendly and polite. So we started talking while the gas, and she was like playing and something she said about I asked her, I said, when was the last time you take a clean out? She said, clean out? What do you mean? A purge? I said, yeah. She said, no, yes, I didn't do that. I said, but you see where you're working? Oh, yes, because when I started to pump the gas, I just rested there and I was over on the next side. So she was asking me, why it is you're staying so far from the pump? I said, girl, I just can't smell that, girl. So she was like, why? I find it smell good. Yes, that's how the conversation started. I say, you find that the smell good? I say, you find that the smell? No, you know what people like that, right? They like to smell gas and various things. Yeah, but people who have that are people who have deficiency, yeah? Your body lacking certain things. It would be things like chromium, selenium, those type of things your body lacks. So the scent, that's just like people who eat sand and gravel and those type of things. Whenever you have those urges, is your body telling you that you're lacking certain minerals and that kind of thing, macro and micro. So I said, no, I said, girl, I cannot smell that. And the whole fumes bother me. But I think that's because I just not accustomed smelling those things. And maybe my mind just hardwired in such a way that I think, my God, cancer, smelling cancer things. So I must just go into analysis paralysis in my mind. So I think that's the reason why I cannot smell those things. From pain, go right back. So I told her, I said, no, you must take a clean out, girl. Ting. So the conversation we having, I ended up parking on the side and I talked to her a little bit and she was saying something. She said, but you know something you tell me there. She said, you think this could cause you to get a miscarriage? I say, of course. I said, go and do research. And I pulled up research and I showed her. There was some research that they did that was done where, boy? That was in somewhere in South America. They did that, boy. It was like, if it's not South America, it's somewhere in China. They did research. And they found that gas station pump attendants, women, had high levels of infertility and high levels of issues with things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, that type of thing. But we live in a world where things is very legal. When there are certain things you're saying, you don't know what you're saying or how you say it, otherwise you end up with a lawsuit. So, but that was one of the things it pointed to. So Trinidad and Tobago, mechanics, straighteners and painters. Well, wives and all they listening, mothers all they listening, they know them man as them bagger man, they harden. They don't listen. They feel they make out of iron and steel until they lie down in a hospital, and then they're looking up in the sky and crying when they should have do what they're supposed to do. Right? So ladies, that is all your work. Come and get the Santulan, mix it for them, and give them let them drink it for me, please. Please, please, because I'm telling you, you're going to end up in some problems. You cannot be dealing with chemicals on a daily basis. You cannot be working for the government cleaning drains. Do you know what a drain has in it? Do you know when you move, when water moves, there are things, particles, most of these things are minute so you don't see it. It is invisible to the human eye. Just recently, I was telling someone in and this is not to be, disgusting in any way. When you use the washroom, when you use a toilet, you're doing your numbers, you're number 2. Now, some women have a tendency, and this is a bad habit, some women would sit and urinate, and when they finish urinate, they do not get up off the seat. They will sit down there and they flush the toilet one time. Do not do that. You know why? When you flush a toilet, a lot of different bacteria, pathogens actually comes up about 6 feet in the air. They prove that, So when you flush that toilet and you sitting down there, you know what's going on with you?
All that bacteria.
Exactly. And because of the way a woman is designed, that is going directly inside of you. Women just have to really make sure and take care. See, that's a serious thing, Down to the, I'm not trying to deviate, from down to the underwear you wear. There's a reason why a lot of women end up with urinary tract infection and different type of infection. And it's not that they're bad and they get in trouble and they're sleeping outside and things, It's because of those things. I remember there was a particular, I had a family member who used to do, and she had a particular problem, and it was that same situation. And I asked her, I said, listen to me, when you use the washroom, that same thing, do you sit on the washroom? And she said, yeah, she's doing that. I said, are you mad? Stop doing that. Stop doing it. So simple things like with drains and even with all this flooding too, people need to be very, very careful. There's leptospirosis in that water. You know what leptospirosis is? Yeah. Well, it's not leptospirosis, but it would have the pathogen that would cause leptospirosis.
That's right.
Let me correct myself there. So understand what it is you're dealing with. When you're working, you need to take care of yourself. Hairdressers, it has some nice hairdressers. Them hairdressers be nice ladies, You can imagine, I had someone who came to me in Tobago, 35 years, stage 5, but she took too long to come to me. I couldn't help her. I said, girl, if it is, because she reached the point where the body was not accepting food. And you see, when you have cancer, or when you're sick, and you're trying to eat, even if it's liquid and it's coming up, that is a day. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. It's late.
It's late. It's very late. The body is now telling you, I do not want food because I do not have the ability, the resources that I have. I cannot squander them on you digesting food. I have to conserve the resources that we have here to try and keep you alive. That's the short version of what your body is telling you. I cannot, because digestion takes up a lot of energy in the body and utilizes a lot of resources. So please, and she came to me at that stage. I told her, I said, girl, anything I give you, it would not stay down. It would not stay down. Even intravenously, the body would have given problems to accept it. Because the body has reached a point where the body is trying to conserve energy and its resources to try and keep you alive as long as possible. I tell you, this health thing simple, they try to make this thing sound fancy and all kind of thing. But you cover, you make sure when you finish, do whatever you do. You do not flush a toilet over here. So you're supposed to look at your stool and thing. Don't be looking over the stool and then when you're finished, look, you flush one time and look. You cover and you flush. Ladies, when you sit on the wash, finish, do you do? Cover, flush the toilet. You would not believe how that will get you sick. That particular person had a bad problem. And it even caused issue in the marriage because the husband thought she was being unfaithful. And I told him, I said, no. I said, this have nothing. I said, have no way you could go and get this. If a human being have this, something wrong with them, they're dead. I said, this didn't come from there. Because I sent them to do pap smear and different things to check certain things. I said, no. That's where that come from. People who handle sewer. If you're working for one of those organizations where you deal with sewer, as a sewer man in terms of cleaning or manning the thing, whatever the case may be. No, I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? Yeah, sewer. Right. That's your work. You're a person handling drain. That's your profession. You dealing with the drain. A drain is not a clean place. You will go and lie down in a drain? No.
No.
So how you could be handling drain and you taking detox? You're mad? So all them things going up in your nostrils and going there and some bad particle, dust is one of the nastiest things it have, you know. Dust is a nasty thing. You know how much pathogens dust carry? I know of a particular incident with someone who worked in a particular location that was affected by dust. And after some year, not even after some years, some months, the person was diagnosed with lung cancer. As particular, was a special, they never see that type of cancer yet. It's a rare type, they saw it already. And the thing is, her husband said, Dr. Batson, I believe because of where that location was and the amount of dust that was coming. I said, well, okay, you say it, I didn't say it. I was in total agreement. I believe that is where she got that. So please, people, be careful and understand the dynamics. Sometimes what appears to be simple isn't simple. And a lot of persons could save their life if they just be a little more diligent and pay attention to certain things. And understand that when you work in specific environments, there is something known as occupational sickness. A lot of people don't know. You have occupational asthma, you know. You have occupational everything, you know. Based on your occupation, you could end up in a situation. So let me give you the telephone numbers and let us take some calls. Keep in mind our locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. Call, get your information on your Santulan, your Alcogen water. St. James is located at the Red Edge Mall. That's Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113, 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Again, that's 226-4553. And you can book your online consultations. That number for the online consultation is 1-868-373-2388. That's for online. So anyone who is in New York, wherever you are, out of Trinidad and Tobago, that consultation line is for you. It is 868-373-2388. Okay, let me say a pleasant. Ms. Donnelly says, I do not flush my toilet without the cover. If I flush toilets when I am out, I flush as I leave. Miss Rianne Francis says, when ladies doing perm, I can't be in the same room because I feel like I'm stifling here. That's someone who's a hairdresser. Because when you do perm and all those things, and even putting those things in your hair, I'm not going to deviate, I'm going to take people questions because I can't tell people what to do to look pretty. You're married to me. If it is you want to put your hair red, green, blue, indifferent, no problem. That's your business, right? You have to do what make you look good and feel good in your mind, right? Because I find a lot of women look better without certain things. But again, that's just my opinion. So if it is so if you know you have blue hair, green hair, yellow hair, make sure if you could get a santulan and drink some, increase your water, just a little celery and cucumber. You need to cleanse yourself, ladies. I am telling you, only looking pretty. And it's because you want to take out some of y'all and you need to go. Some of y'all, some fellas, when they're ready to get married and get wife and thing, listen to me. Take them home and send them and do a full physical on them. Full physical. I mean, serious, and vice versa. Because let me tell you something, they tell you in sickness and in health, richer for poorer. But you see me, I ain't going through that, you know. I ain't going to buy no cat in bag. I ain't seeing trouble in front of me. What the old people ever saying? What it is they say, well, something they could see in light and you have to take something with flambeau. I can't remember the face. Yeah, and you take flambeau to see. I go and get flambeau. I see in big daylight. I see this. I mean that you look like you're going and dead just now. I go and married. You are talking about love? You have to be mad. You have to be out of your mind. Love, I no love there. I'm sorry. I am sorry. There's a liability that I am not willing to take on. And I find nobody shouldn't take on that liability. Love is love, but practicality is practicality. Because you come with me, I go and you have a bag of problems. So when we can't see we way. We married, we can't even build a house, we can't finish house, nothing. You always in the hospital. No, that wickedness. Don't do me that. I ain't going through that. Some people might like that, you know, but I telling you, plain talk, bad manners. I'm not going through that. How you gonna do me that? If I know, you know. We in it already. But I telling these young men and them and these young ladies, all of y'all who courting and wherever the case may be, all you have all the dots, the I's dotted and your T's crossed, you know, all the compatible, you know, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, all the alleys, you're good there. The last test there, you need to go by the doctor and do a physical. I am telling you. Because I have seen some very pretty, lovely looking young ladies. And when we get down to the baseline, I tell one come to me the other day, if you see this lady, nice, beautiful, but watch me. I say, but girl, you fooling people?
Pretty dead.
Pretty dead, yeah. Pretty, you know, I tell you if you see. Nice. But when we go down to the nitty-gritties, all kind of thing you have. I say, but girl, I say, but girl. I tell me, but she want to get married. I say, married to who, girl? Who trying to go and kill? No, man. Because if I with you. Your stress is my stress. I cannot deal with that.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with that. And that's just to help people to understand that this sickness thing is a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Take care of yourself. You could do better. Let's do better.
Beautiful.
Good. So let's take the calls. Let's take some calls this morning.
All right. We do have a caller coming in. Caller, good morning. They're laughing.
You're a different boy. I think I see it. That's great information you give it to the public.
Thank you very much.
Everything you say is good truth. It is truth.
Yeah. Thanks so very much.
If you're born with black hair,
right,
you have to get the time. Keep it just as it is.
Yeah, I am not an advocate. I'm not in the dying thing. I tell them to each his own, but you're putting yourself in some problems. Do you know that there are doctors, ophthalmologists that have stopped women from dying the hair because of eye damage?
Yeah. It is very true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am an elderly, Dr.Batson, I'm an elderly, but I will never dye my hair. I don't care who tell me, I will never
girl,
dye.
you stay there and look nice with your grays, girl.
I am very, you know, holiness is beauty, right?
Of course it is, definitely.
That is what I am looking at. Holiness is beauty.
Amen.
Dr. Batson, here is sir.
Yes, my dear.
What about cockset and incense?
Yeah. Okay. I like where you're going. Yeah. Serious. And the thing is, a lot of us didn't know. I remember a long time some people living in houses, you know, especially mosquito, whatever the case may be, and they light in cockset. And you know, you inhaling, you're killing yourself. And listen to me, the cocksets light when you are asleep, which makes it even worse. Yeah. Because your breathing pattern is different when you're sleeping.
So the light was 6 cents a packet.
Right.
I don't want none. I didn't know the life and death.
Yes.
Life and death.
Definitely.
Great information.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
You are blessed. You are blessed beyond.
Amen. I'm taking that. You too. Have a good day. Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, the lady talk about it, the correct cockset and all these sort of fancy thing. They had no. You're looking to be very, very, very careful. Look, we could even go down even further. When you wash your clothes, even certain things like detergents and that type of thing, you need to rinse your clothes properly. I believe, as a person, when I say I wash them, and that's something I just do for myself. You know, it's some things that you just have to do for yourself. That's me. Wash. I don't care where I is. I don't care how I live in. I don't care who I'm dealing with. As a man, just wash my clothes. That never changed. Yeah, up to now. Right? And the thing is, whenever you're rinsing your clothes, you put some baking soda inside of that clothes. Baking soda is a powerful. I tell people don't understand how powerful baking soda is. Right. Powerful. Look at that situation, because I got a little slight so people who had some situation with the floods, and the soil itself, some of the plants, the water, remember that water stayed there, so some of the plants literally, and there was oil in the water, because that particular area have a lot of automotive places and whatever, so that water was terrible. Apart from it being normally bad, the water actually had oil in it. So it actually settled in some of the plants, those big plant pots. I was like, so it literally was actually starting to kill the plants. The plants started to change color. And what do you think I did? I got baking soda, big container, large. In fact, I mixed it in a barrel. Big set of baking soda. I think to the barrel I threw like about 2 pounds of baking soda. Throw it inside of it. Mix it. And I took it and I watered all those plants in it.
Yeah.
And if you saw the difference 2 days afterwards, because what the baking soda actually does, because baking soda is actually a natural pesticide. A lot of people do not know that. Yeah. It helps a lot in maintaining pH in the soil and that kind of thing. But it depends on the plants that you're dealing with, like roses, and there's different types. Some plants require acid soil. Some plants would take more alkaline-ish soil. But the advantage with the baking soda, especially in this situation, was to clean the soil, because it actually, if you take your hand and push it, I was actually feeling the oil in the soil.
In the soil.
Yeah, and since I have done it, I did it twice, because I did yesterday as well, and it has changed significantly. So I just basically put it on a schedule to do it. So that's just to help you to understand that those are things that you could use. Drink a little baking soda in between. Do not play stupid at telling you all, because you're going to come, and when you come, you're going to come with problems. Please, it ain't taking nothing out of you to get up in the morning, get a half teaspoon of baking soda, mix it in a glass of water, and go your way. I don't care how busy you are, because when you do that, you are helping yourself. You might not have money to get Santulan now. You might be able to afford Alkagen water. Okay, good, no problem. May fight in your day. But do something to help yourself. Do not sit down and wait. And the next thing, some people, they say, well, Dr. Batson, I'm waiting to come by you when you have money. I'm waiting to come by you when you have money. What it is you feel? I have nothing by me is $1 million. What money you waiting to come to get? Start to drink your water. If you had to boil your water, filter your water, start drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. I tell all you over and over, every time that you need to drink your body weight divided by 2 in ounces every day. Start. You know you're working in those industries. Christmas come and give somebody a gift. Tell them that. And we actually have good gift certificates too. So that's something you could also check out. We put it on our social media and that type of thing. You could also call the office as regards to those things. Give somebody a gift for good health. And you wouldn't believe, because the year nearly finished. That's not 2023. So we have things to do. Over to you, sir.
All right. So we have quite a few messages coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Person sending the messages since earlier. Let me see. Someone says, hello, what can be done if one eye is itchy or scratchy? Itchy/scratchy, watery. Visited the doctor, checked it, and they said use warm compress and use moisturizing eye drops, which I use, but the issue still persists.
Yeah, you need to get that which means that issue is not only your eye, that issue is also inside. People, you may not necessarily have sinus, but your sinuses could be blocked. Sinuses could also be contaminated or infected, right? And if your sinuses are infected, it affects your eyes. So I would recommend topically the Eye Optics formula, which is the eye drop we carry at Batson Associates. That eye drop just quickly detoxifies the eye. That is an all-natural eye drop. The eye drop has no chemical additives in it at all. And what it is designed to do is to improve blood circulation and oxygenation in your eyes. Very important thing. Because a lot of people do not know that chemicals enter your body ocularly. They enter your body via your eyes. Yeah, so those same people we're talking about who working in all the chemicals and all the things, that is not only going through. Chemicals enter the body 3 ways. Dermally, which is through the skin, which includes your scalp. Things are absorbed in the human body fastest in your scalp, the palm of your hands, the sole of your feet, the back of your elbows, the back of your knees. Those are the fastest and quickest under your arms. The quickest points of entry in the body, topically. So the thing is, it enters that way. It also enters via respiration, so inhalation, and it also enters via your eyes, ocularly. Could enter via your mouth as well too, depending on the air and your, Some might just go into your mouth. That's the reason why you have your tonsils, right? I remember as a young man, they wanted to remove my tonsils. That's how me and wheatgrass became such good friends. I told my mother, I said, I'm not going to take out my tonsils. Men are not supposed to remove their tonsils, especially because your tonsils are actually linked to proper male function. So I didn't want to be in no kind of situation. I said, leave my tonsils right there, please. I do my cleanse, I drink my stuff, and I am now 23 years later, and I never had a problem. Never. My tonsils never got inflamed after I did what I did. And Santulan was one of the things. But it wasn't called Santulan at that time. There was a particular product that they had around that time that was kind of similar, and that's what I used. Okay?
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. Good morning. My question for today is, when will Nerve Restore and Cerebral be available at Chaguanas branch again?
It's available already. They got on Saturday. So we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. I have a crippling pain in the upper part of my leg. The doctor said it's a muscle strain. Getting this pain 2 weeks now and limping to walk. The doctor gave me omeprazole, Alfen, ibuprofen, and I have to do therapy, hot therapy. I'm a female, 36 years old. I am not a fan of all these meds. I was thinking it could be arthritis. Or do you think I should get an x-ray? Or what do you think it could be?
Just remind me where the pain is?
Upper right leg.
Upper right leg. The thing is, the thing with pain, you should do some sort of x-ray. The thing is, the possibility exists, the pain may not be a musculoskeletal pain. It may be a circulation pain. So the possibility exists, it doesn't have to be, that it could be a circulatory problem, which could be something like DVT, deep vein thrombosis, or some sort of thrombosis close to there that is impeding your circulation. Now, the thing is, if it is not that, and it is a musculoskeletal pain, then it means it comes from the aspect of some sort of arthritis situation. So what you're going to do again, first thing, water. The advantage with Alkagen water is that you have a premium alkaline water, which does a number of things. Alkaline water is actually a medical device in Japan. It is used or termed a medical device. If you look at the classification of the World Health Organization, you have different classes of medical devices. You have class 1, class 2, class 3, different classes. I can't remember which class alkaline water falls in, but it is registered and recognized as a medical device in Japan. Tell all of these people with small eyes, very, very smart, especially when coming to think to live long and think, they know exactly what to do. Them small eye people, very, very intelligent when coming to that. They know exactly what to eat and what not to eat. And a lot of the food that is be cooking here, for all it to eat, they do not eat.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
But common sense may be for book, because I have some of them are my good friends, and you know what they say? If we give them the food that we just eat, Batson, they ain't go buy it. So they can't vex with them. They say, they want the food, how the food is. So that is something to be mindful about. So you need to ensure that that particular aspect is addressed. So what I would do, you're looking at your water. I would use, if you are not a 7 days Adventist and you're not allergic to shell food, then the omega with the astaxanthin is your best friend. That particular product helps significantly with pain, and it works very, very quickly. So that together with the inflammation formula. But as I said, keep in mind, you must be properly hydrated. What do I mean? I mean that you should be drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces for at least 4 weeks, or 2 to 4 weeks before you can utilize the Santulan. But you can use the omega with the astaxanthin, and you can also use the inflammation formula, the Alkagen water. We also have joint tea. That's the next thing to Trinidad and Tobago. Finally, we have gotten our teas. Finally. I don't know how much of an uphill battle that was. I have 16 new gray hair on my beard, and it's because of that situation. 16, I counted all of them. But we have gotten our teas now, and we have teas in all our offices. I believe it is just David to get. But by Tuesday, all the offices going to have teas, joint tea, circulation, whatever the case may be. And we're working assiduously now to try and correct that situation that we had before so that we could ensure that we supply you guys. All right, but it's just a matter of adjusting certain things. But we got it done. Good. So there's a joint tea that also helps with pain. Very good product. We have circulation. We have kidney. We have hypertension. We have blood sugar control. We got back dandelion, and that particular one, that dandelion that we used, I was very impressed with that as compared to the other one that we had. Because I use all those teas. I mean, the only ones that I don't use the sugar, I don't use the pressure, but I use the circulation, I use the prostate, I use the male formula. That's a real good tea too. The lungs is very good. There's one that we have for gastro tea, boss. Very, very good tea. That has helped a lot of persons who have that same situation with the omeprazole. So if you have things like acid reflux or GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease, and those type of things, you are in a situation where you could actually use that tea. It helps very much. So give us a call. Those numbers again for the Shogunas office. Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number is 220. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226. My apologies. 4553. Tobago is 226-4553. Back to you, sir.
All right, we have someone saying, good morning, Dr. Batson. Doing an A1C test and testing blood from your finger gives you the same results, or does it give you the same result, or should you do an A1C test to get better readings on your blood sugar? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. A fasting blood sugar tests are not the most accurate tests when coming to blood sugar. The reason why they do the A1C is because the A1C gives you a reading over 3 months. Because what happened is the glucose actually binds to the red blood cells. So in doing the A1C, they're able to assess the blood sugar reading or the average blood sugar reading over a 90-day or a 3-month period. Good? So it is really the most reliable test. But what I always tell persons with diabetes, and this is a word of advice for persons who are told that they have diabetes. Again, common sense may be for book. You would have known your lifestyle. You would have known if you're under stress. Stress, anytime you are stressed, death of a loved one, divorce, you know, psychologically, mentally, emotionally wise, do you know that divorce is more stressful than death of a loved one? Yeah, it is. That's what the psychiatrists say. When you look at the pool of psychiatric medicine and when you look at stressors in the body, and they have tested it, when you go through a divorce, God forbid, listen to me, you're hanging in it, flesh and bones and problems. Yeah, and that's because of the amount of stress that the body has to undergo. So when you're going through things like loss of a loved one, we went through the pandemic, all this sort of thing, you might be working hours, whatever the case may be, you have to understand you wasn't treating your body how your body deserved to be treated. So certain things, when they start to go, you understand, a little amiss. So don't go now, you go on to the doctor and you do an A1C and they tell you your A1C is 6.5 and they're telling you have diabetes. Trinidad and Tobago, you are pre-diabetic. We are not taking that. We are not accepting that. We are not allowing that to manifest. Don't even speak it. Because when you speak it, it comes into manifestation. I tell people your perception is your reality. Good? So I'm not saying to be irresponsible and say, well, the doctor tests me and tell me I have diabetes, but Dr. Batson say, to be optimistic and tell me, no. Don't do that. What I am saying to you is that you're in a situation where the blood sugar level is high, yes or no? But is it going to be high forever? No. Make the necessary changes and adjustments that you have to make. Because you're in a situation now, you went through stress, you wasn't eating good. And the thing is, some people find comfort in different things. Some people find comfort in food. I thank God that I was never one of those. No. I like my belly, yes, but not so much. So the thing is, when you find comfort in these things, you're going to eat and eat and eat and eat, and then what happens? You end up obese. A lot of people who are obese is because mentally and psychologically, in order to deal with things, they eat.
Yeah, as a coping mechanism.
That is correct. It is a terrible coping mechanism, but it's a coping mechanism all the same.
Yeah.
I tell people exercise. I am stressed out. I am going in the gym, and I'm going to take that out in the gym. Outside of that, I go in nature. I have plans, go and think. I go and talk to 1 or 2, 3, tell them thing. I tell them that's why I haven't gone mad yet. Yeah, that's why I ain't gone off my rockers yet. Go by the sea, take a little bath. You're married? Well, you do what married people just do. Handle yourself. Yeah. You go and think out people killing themselves and committing suicide. You committed suicide for what? You doing that for? Now, I going down a road there, people might think I'm being insensitive, but it's not that enough. You have to understand that even with mental health, and this is the next thing, people have to understand mental health. You see these children they have now, parents, 16 years, 17, 18, all they watch these children, you know. Watch them and watch them good, you know. Observe them, you know. Because people, they are functional, there's something known as functional depression. And let me tell you something, a lot of these young people have functional depression. Watch your child, observe your child, talk to your child. So when it is you see people commit suicide, it is not people who commit suicide just like that. Suicide is not committed overnight.
Yeah.
That's a progressive thing over a period. It is called functional depression. And depression is really, everybody get depressed at some point in time. Even me, I'm telling you. Sometimes, and it just goes, that's how the body is. And sometimes there are foods that actually help you cope against depression. Nuts, so things like almonds, cashew, chia seeds, those things with lignins in it actually help you cope. Your omegas, so fish. Because if you don't do that, especially with these children, I treated a young lady 15 years. Depressed to the hilt. She depressed and she don't even know why she depressed. But it wasn't her fault. She had hormonal imbalance challenges. She had gastrointestinal problems. You see, the thing is, a lot of times when people get sick, you're sick because, and they tell you they're testing you and the doctors don't know why. I'm not saying that I could figure out everything, you know. But believe me, 99.9% of the time, I'll figure it out. It ain't hard. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. We have to deal with the root cause and the foundation of the issue. You must. If you have a building and the building is leaning, example, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, that building is leaning. Where are you going to fix? The roof? You're going to fix the window? You're going to fix the doors? Where are you going to fix? Tell me. You have to go back to the foundation. The foundation. You have to fix the foundation. You have mental health issues. Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have one of the most distorted views of mental health. I hate to hear Trinidadians talk about mental health. It is so disrespectful. And they think of it as a joke. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. That is a serious, serious, serious thing. And a lot of persons who are depressed, who have anxiety, they don't even know why. And I'm telling you, a lot of the times, do you know that foods can make you depressed?
True. True.
The first on the list is Mr. Sugar. Do you know when you consume sugar, sucrose, your immune system goes to sleep for approximately 2.5, 4 hours?
Especially the white one.
Especially the white one. You're sure right. Your immune system, your defense for your body, your Coast Guard, your police, your army, stop work. Them fellas and them going to sleep in, the enemy could come in there and blow you up. Your immune system has now become very vulnerable as a result of what? Sugar. I know someone is sweet, you know. Well, it's sweet too bad. But sugar don't like you. It is the most addictive substance on the earth. Sugar is 10 times more addictive, 6 to 10 times more addictive than cocaine. Why? Because it gives a chemical response in the body. It causes the body to release dopamine, some one of those neurotransmitters.
Yes, that's right. We have another call coming in.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Yeah, good Sunday morning to Lyndon.
Good morning.
Mr. Linden, sir. How are you?
You and yours. To Dr. Batson, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, well, I couldn't see you last month, but I didn't see. I see you one in charge. Is Mona, is her name?
You saw who? Miss Roma?
Yeah. What's her name?
Karishma.
Miss what?
Who you saw? Miss Ramdan or Miss Roma?
Yeah, Ramdan.
Oh, you saw Miss Karishma.
I'll get back to that in a while. You had mentioned earlier that you're getting a product something, a formula that will be in the office on Monday. So are you saying that DB will be open on Mondays and Tuesdays from now?
No. DB will be open. Oh, yeah. Sorry. DB's opening from Monday will start from the beginning of the new year. The beginning of the new year. Yeah. That was thanks for highlighting that. Yeah.
More convenient on Monday and Tuesday to come to the office.
Yeah, we had done that because of the pandemic, and we had a
I mentioned about tonsils, right? I got my tonsils at 12 years of age. You know, when you're young, softener. So that was around this time of the year for Christmas. So after they invited me to a Christmas party in the hospital inside my hospital. And but I was very young when she married us. I was 15 years. My father came from Belmont and he put out a convent and married her.
Okay.
And she didn't know anything because I was the last medic, but in Texas, my sister, she was 15 years old, she died in Calvary Government School. Okay. She had joined us.
Wow, okay.
She didn't know what to do. And she went, my sister went to the hospital 2 times, and she died at exactly 12 noon, but midday, in the week. And I was going to hospital. So when I line us up to go to the funeral and stuff, I think she died in paralyzed September 3. Okay.
But
what I'm saying, my grandma, when I was, I had it when pneumonia as a child now, about 2 or 3 years, and my mother go and bathe me. And I get pneumonia.
Okay.
I receive it and bathe me, and the grandmother pull me away from her. And I was with grandmother. But at 12 years, my tonsils went bad, and the doctor had to cut it. So it was really short because, but what I realized really is now you're kind of cool, but easy now.
Yeah, you're very easy. Remember, your tonsils is the first.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me? I say, remember, your tonsils is the first line of defense via any pathogens. So you can listen off here. All right?
No, but I wanted to say Yeah.
No, what I'm saying.
I used to get a cold easy up to now,
Yeah.
You come on cold now, but it doesn't stay for long. Right. So what I come to the point now is I like to get here, but I'll come to see you for this issue now. I like to get if you can get in the market, but you'll be in office on Monday, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, well, Monday, please go. I'm working in, I should be in St. James on Monday. I will be in Shogunas Tuesday and Wednesday. DB, I will be in DB Saturday.
Well, right. Well, whatever day, I'll call you and talk to you privately on Tuesday.
All right, good. No problem.
I'll be so I'll talk to Ms. Ramdan, so you'll connect you after me, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So have a nice day, man.
You too, man. Take care of yourself. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
You too, sir.
All right, so we have another question here concerning the cleanse and detox. Can anyone use the product? If so, what's the cost, etc.? And can I come to the Shogunas office for it? Okay,
so the cost they will give you, because I just do call price on the radio, right? So you could always call the office and they'll give you the price. What I could tell you, 1 pack of Santulan and 3 bottles of water not costing you $200. All right? No more than $200. So with that cleanse, and you would get the instruction and that type of thing as regards to how to use it. Anyone can use it. Santulan can be used by the very elderly. I have clients who are in the 90s and they use Santulan because they may have had some challenges with bowels. And quite frankly, that was the only thing that helped them. Because the thing with Santulan is a cleanser, but it is not aggressive. As I said, you will get some movement, you might get some little jabbing pain and that type of thing. But that is just the product working because it is basically starting to deal with the toxins in the lining of the intestine and those different things. Good. So it means now that you have to be able to bring back balance that system. And once it is you do that, the Santulan is going to help you. Santulan is a 7-channel detox. It cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and lungs. And why I like it, it can be adjusted for various ages. So you have a 3-year-old child, for example, who may have to do a cleanse. They can use the Santulan, but you might give them 2 or 3 ounces of Santulan and you just fill up the rest with water. So you dilute it. You might have someone who may have a challenge where they want to lose weight. The thing is, Santulan Slim is finished. That product is finished. You're just waiting on some documents from the relevant authorities to make sure everything is okay before we actually we are allowed to sell, right? So that product is there. Should be on market by about, let's say, February for the latest. That is Santulan now, but Santulan with less gastrointestinal benefits. They still have gastrointestinal benefits there, but it is more focused on weight loss. Whereas with the Santulan we have now, a lot of people would use Santulan and you would lose weight, But Santulan primarily is more cleanse-oriented. So it might be about 60% cleanse-oriented and 40% weight loss. Whereas Santulan Slim is going to be like about 80% weight loss, 20% gastrointestinal-oriented. Or cleansing oriented in terms of that particular aspect, right? And that's it. So anybody could use it. Anyone could use it. There are some instances with Santulan, you use 1 8-ounce glass. It is used on an empty stomach. An empty stomach is anywhere between an hour, 2.5 hours, 3 hours after a meal, depending on your meal. So if your meal is a high carbohydrate meal, so let's say you have rice with chicken, peas, vegetables, you're looking at digestion at about, I would say, 2 hours. If you eat a salad, you're looking at maybe about an hour. Salad is digested very quickly. Roughage goes through the intestinal tract, because remember, salad is fiber. You have soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. So the insoluble fiber decreases the transit time in the intestines. So you find that your bowel movement is going to, or your digestion is going to be quicker when you use things like salad. So empty stomach is anywhere between an hour to 3 hours. And usually you should drink anything between 1 8-ounce glass to 260 or to 2 8-ounce glasses, which is 16 ounces. Depend on the individual, depend on your weight, depend on your circumstance. But of course, you'll be advised accordingly. Next question.
All right, next question is someone is asking when does Restore and Optics Plus will be available again?
We have gotten Optics Plus a while now. I hope it wasn't a case where my office was supposed to call you, but we have Optics Plus, we have Nerve Restore. And Nerve Restore we got just this week, and we getting our next set. This should get on Monday, please God. It should have delivered because we getting a large. That whole situation with stock is going to be fixed next year, please God. It was just some dotting some I's and crossing some T's where those things are concerned. Especially, and the thing is, those products are in-demand products. So a lot of times when you see people come, they come in for 1 bottle, and the people buy 4 and 5 bottles in every store. So we try not to sell, of course, one person everything, but we have to try to balance accordingly. But in due time. Next question.
Someone was saying that they tried to get eye optics.
Where?
But they didn't get in Chaguanas.
In Chaguanas, really? Okay. Yeah. All right. Off the top of my head, I know they should have it in stock. I don't know. Maybe that particular day they went, and it may have finished that day, earlier in the day, or maybe somewhere in the day, maybe an hour when they came, and then we got it later in the evening, because the delivery, they would have normally done delivery. Maybe because of the traffic and stuff, the delivery driver must have reached late that day or something. But there we have.
All right. So those 2 persons you heard, my optics is available. Let me see. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Save the eye optics drops. Plus, is it supposed to really burn your eyes? Like when you put it in the first time, it really burns.
Yeah, it does. The thing is, if the eye drop is burning you, a lot of the time the burn isn't because the product isn't good, isn't because it's a bad reaction. Remember, the eye optics formula is primarily an eye cleanser. Remember I mentioned in our discussion that you take toxins in your body ocularly via your eyes, right? So a lot of the time you have build-up, it's rubbish you have in there, So when you start to take the eye drop is going to start to, it has to shake that up, it has to start to move it. So which is why a lot of people, when they use eye optics, afterwards, when they get up in the morning, they observe a lot of coal in the corner of their eyes, a lot of coal, white stuff coming out. It's because it's actually cleansing the eye. So you'll get, so if you take it the first time, and you normally the recommendation is 2 drops in each eye, morning and evening. If you're getting burning, and you find the burning a little intense, then what to do? Just shake it up, make sure and shake it up. Every time before you use it, make sure and shake it up. And put 1 drop in your eye morning and 1 drop in the evening. And you do the 1 drop. And bit by bit, maybe in about a week, 2 weeks, it will the burning will significantly decrease, and then you go up to the 2 drops. But it's just the product working. If the burn is, I mean, ridiculous, like crazy, well, then the possibility exists you may have an allergic reaction. And that particular eye drop, based on allergies, we have been using that product. How long we using eye optics, boy? Maybe about 8 years, 8 to 10 years. And of allergic reaction, I only had 2 in those 10 years. And all they had to do was just discontinue using it. But generally, it's just a matter of the product doing its work. It's just like when you drink the Santulan and you're getting a little jabbing pain and thing, it's the product working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay?
All right, we have a call coming in. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Dr. Batson, on the oil on your body.
Repeat that again.
Citronella oil.
Citronella oil.
That does for mosquitoes.
On your body.
That's a very good question. I don't know. I am not really too much of an advocate of that.
But I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I am not too much of a. Yeah. You remember, anything you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream eventually. It gets in there. So you have to be very careful the things that you use, especially with mosquito repellents, even sunblock. I mean, you have some sunblock. The thing is, you just might have to do a little research as regards to sunblock. Look at what they have, because we have a lot of laws that came within the past 20 years, 10, 20 years that, rectified a lot of things with products that we have. There are a lot of creams and perfumes and roll-ons and things that people use, and they didn't know that those things had aluminum in them, which has been responsible for a lot of cancers and that type of thing. So with the citronella, well, I would say I could do some research, but I think, thinking off the top of my head, I wouldn't really put that on my skin. I wouldn't really use it. But I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see if there must be something, because I'm thinking in the realm of essential oils, which one of those will actually work, for maybe them mosquitoes and them. Because again, it's frequency, because there are oils that you have that have certain frequencies, and once the oil has a frequency that the mosquitoes don't like, they wouldn't bother you. It's just like cleansers. The reason why certain cleansers work in the body is because all toxins have a polarity, and toxins are positively charged. All toxins have positive polarity. So in order to do the opposite, you need negative, which is why things like activated charcoal, for example, is very good. The problem with activated charcoal is, if you don't know what you're doing, you could kill yourself. You have to know how you're using that. When I'm giving, and that's something that we're going to start doing next year, please God, again, because we're doing our detox, in addition to the detox line, which is going to include some of those things. But you have to know, because you see, the thing is, again, you do not want to end up with healing crisis. Healing crisis is a serious thing, serious thing, the body. And a lot of people experience healing crisis and they don't even know. They're in the hospital treating them, and the hospital don't know that it's healing crisis that person is going through. Very, very important. And that you'll remember when the young lady had called regarding the hypertension, and because what she wanted to take and and then she called back and she said what she said was where the blood pressure started to go down. Because what she was saying is that she wanted to, drink, it was aloes and something she was drinking, but she realized the blood pressure was being elevated. And I told her not to continue, because what was happening is healing crisis, the toxins trying to leave too quickly, and the body is not hydrated. That's a serious thing. You have to know what you're doing. And that's where Batson Associates comes in. We're going to give you the guidance, and you need to follow the instruction. Don't do me like the lady who went to the loo for 24, 48 hours. she lost about 10 to 15 pounds. But yeah, so don't do it like that. No shortcuts, please. No shortcuts.
Someone is asking, doctor, do you do delivery on the circulation tea?
Yes, we do. We do delivery on any of our products. Of course, there's a minimum order, depending on delivery. But yeah, we do delivery for any of our products. So you can feel free to call, and they're going to ensure that they do that for you.
All right. Someone else is asking, can you use omega when you're can it improve constipation?
It would to an extent, but it's going to take a while. If you have a constipation problem, we need to find out what is causing your constipation. Is it an issue where you have not enough balance? So there's some sort of imbalance in the natural bacteria in the intestines. It could be that. It could be a problem of dehydration. It could be a central nervous system problem, because bowel movement is a central nervous system function. That is part of your autonomic nervous system, which is sympathetic, parasympathetic. So the thing is, which is why anxiety could cause you to get diarrhea.
Yeah.
Right? If you have exams and you know some people are nervous, I said, they know, belly walking. You will swear you eat something, because bowel movement is a central nervous system function, which is why strokes, as I always tell people, sometimes it's better to get a heart attack than a stroke. If you suffer a stroke, and depending on the part of the brain that the stroke is in, it could affect it can affect your bowel movement. I know of stroke patients who couldn't go off for days, weeks, until certain massages were given and certain recommendations to start to get that autonomic nervous system functioning properly. So, you need to be very careful where that is concerned.
Yeah.
Next question.
Someone is asking if you have the special Santalan for weight loss.
Sorry, go ahead.
And what would you recommend for underactive thyroid?
Okay, so the Santulan for weight loss, as regards to selling to the public, only next year, February. And that's just based on stuff with Food and Drug and that type of thing, right? As regards to the underactive, they said, thyroid?
Yeah.
Underactive thyroid. The thing is, okay, let me touch on thyroid quickly. Yeah, so your thyroid is part of your endocrine system, right? So your endocrine system primarily are your glands. Glands are responsible for the production of hormones. However, you have a master gland in the body. The master gland is your pituitary gland. Good? You have thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenal, and two others somewhere around there, right? The thing is, when you have a thyroid problem, you have two issues. You either overstressed or you have serious deficiencies of selenium, magnesium, manganese, chromium, and those type of things. Now, I'm not telling you to go and run out and buy a supplement, because the possibility exists. You have what is known as malabsorption, which is the body's inability to absorb or assimilate food properly. And that's the problem that a lot of people have. There are people who eat well, they exercise, they take care of themselves, but they're still sick. They're still sick, and they want to know, but Dr. Batson, I'm using this. Why am I sick still? It is because of malabsorption. I'm giving you all a gastrointestinal clinic next year. I promise you all that. Where we're going to be focusing more on gastrointestinal health and that kind of thing. Because there are too many persons, all diabetics. I always say it, every last diabetic that there is out there, especially if you are type 1 diabetic, and your blood sugar is not going down, they show you using the sugar, you have a digestive problem. All before diabetes is diabetes, it is malabsorption. Think about it. Because diabetes is excess levels of glucose where? In your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Because the body is not doing one of two things. In the case of a type 1 diabetic, they're telling you that your body is not producing insulin. Okay. That is partly true. Your body is not producing insulin, but it is just not producing enough insulin. Because your pancreas cannot be dead. No organ can be dead in the human body and you are alive. So you can have a dead kidney inside of you. You might have a non-functional, or unless it is you do a kidney transplant. Because when you do kidney transplants, they don't remove the next kidney, you know. That kidney stays there, you know. They actually take the new kidney and put it close to the gallbladder, somewhere around there, I think. They put it. They don't ever remove the next kidney. So the functionality of the kidney may be excessively low. And then they do like a bypass and they attach the next kidney. But the locality, they do not remove the other kidney. They have to leave it there. So the point I'm making is that you need to ensure that you are actually dealing with those things from the aspect of the foundation. So when you're looking at thyroid problems, as I said, you're looking at stress, you're looking at... So products we carry, we have a thyroid formula. The advanced chlorophyll is going to help you. It should help with a digestive... There's a product we have called Digestive Balance, Digestive Restore. Those are actually designed to help with the digestive system and assist in better assimilation of your food. CMOS, which I just tell all your free information, you know. Drink CMOS. CMOS is very good for the lining of your intestines. It has a natural... CMOS has like a natural form of collagen in it. You know? Yeah. So it helps with the lining of the gut. It's a very good thing. And we have CMOS available at Batson. I talk about CMOS so much, I went and saw CMOS for all, you know. Proper thing all I have. Proper thing. Miss Eleanor is the CMOS specialist, you know. Miss Eleanor said, Dr. Batson, where you get the CMOS from? I said, Miss Eleanor, so-and-so bring the CMOS. Miss Eleanor said, that good? I say, well, it's supposed to be good. She said, I said, Miss Eleanor, take the pack home and make it and tell me if it's good. Miss Eleanor, bring my big bottle of CMOS to me. And you should, right now, she'll do one for me next week, please, God. Proper thing. So start using that. It helps your gut, and it is very important. You know you have a malabsorption problems. You have Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome. Let me answer Miss Lisa Marshall here quickly. Morning, Dr. Batson. What causes lipomas? I have one near my left jaw. What to take and to put on these? Castor oil. Mix half castor oil, half coconut oil. So you take, so your measurement is 1-to-1. Your ratio is 1-to-1. So if it's 1 teaspoon of castor oil, black Jamaican castor oil that is, you mix it with 1 teaspoon of cold pressed coconut oil. Very important. And you take it and you put it, you start applying it on the lipoma. A lipoma is an indication of a liver imbalance, and it means your body is not metabolizing fat properly. Lipomas are fat deposits of fat under the skin. And it is an indication of a liver problem, fatty liver and those type of things. So we also need to address liver health. And once you do that, they should go after a while. They should go.
All right, we have another call. Caller, good morning. Caller? Hello, good morning. All right, this caller quiet. Let me go to another one. Hello, good morning, caller. Yeah, you're on radio.
Hi, Moy. You need to take off your radio.
Yeah, Dr. Batson, morning, and Linda.
Morning.
I just wanted to find out how you use the baking soda in the water. It is warm water.
No.
And how often you can use that? That's what you said.
Okay, good. No problem. I'll answer you off there. Okay. Yeah. So what you could do when you're using baking soda, now the only persons who need to be a little more careful with baking soda than other persons are persons who are hypertensive, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot use it. It just means you need to look at the amount, because the thing is, it is actually going to help you with hypertension. So what it is you do when you take a half teaspoon, please go and find a proper measure in teaspoon and do not use the Trinidadian teaspoon, please. Or you know, a little special sometimes. Do not use the Trinidadian teaspoon. Get the proper measure in teaspoon, please. And you take half teaspoon, you mix it in 8 ounces of room temperature water, and you drink it first thing in the morning.
And is that a heaping half teaspoon?
No, it is a level. Well said, sir. A leveled teaspoon, please. Trinidad and Tobago. Please, yes, very important. And you can use it for, I normally tell people, see, you use it for a month, then you rest a month. You use it for a month, you rest a month. I use it intermittently. Like I would do mine sometimes I do it like about 4 times for the week. So sometimes I get up in the morning and I was like, okay, good. I ain't drinking no wheatgrass this morning. I'll take some baking soda. So I use a teaspoon of baking soda and mix the teaspoon in the water and I drink it one time. And then I'll drink maybe a glass, 2 glasses of water after that. And the good thing about when you're drinking baking soda, let me give you a word of advice. Baking soda has some laxative properties to it in the sense that if you have, because it is a deodorizer and it has some level of detoxification properties in it. So what you have to understand, if you're using it for the first time, I suggest you use it on a weekend. So you're home. You go and you start to use baking soda, and it's because you're in your car coming on the road and you're cussing Dr.Batson and saying, this man tell me to drink, and because you're whining in traffic there and nothing could happen. You understand? So make sure you know what you're doing, right? Use it for weekend, but normally, it does help with bowel movement. It really does. It really, I'm still looking because I actually had it, well, my secretary looking for it for me, where I have that stuff with the clinical study that they did on baking soda, because I want to get that and put it up. It is amazing what these Italian doctors found. Amazing, 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 amazing. All they have things to save all their life inside all their cupboard and all they don't know. And then people just be telling all them, no. Somebody came to me the other day, Dr. Batson, somebody tell me, no, you're not supposed to drink baking soda. How baking soda could kill you and this and that. I said, if baking soda used to kill you, I dead long time. You watching a spirit here right now? You know what's baking soda? I drink and me dead yet? What nonsense you telling me? It's a spirit you're watching. You drink real baking soda. Your skin, it have nothing to do a better body scrub than baking soda. You want to have good body scrub? You take listen to me. You scrub down. All you married, all you stuff. You have big people here, husband and wife. All you go in the bathroom, get some baking soda, put some olive oil, mix it up inside a day, and scrub down. Yeah, scrub down your husband and wife. Yeah, when you finish with that scrub, and they watch you, they have to watch you twice again, and I say, nah, but you take. If they watch you twice, you're looking nice, smooth. Yeah. You do that once a week. I am telling you, it is going to change your life. It's a thing there that you have easy to help all you and all you don't know. Olive oil. How much time I would tell all you about olive oil? You take a tablespoon of olive oil every day. If you do not like how the olive oil tastes, go and get some lemon and squeeze it in the olive oil and drink it. You are going to see a difference. And as I always tell you, I need to put up that. There's one next year. I'm going to put that up somewhere. Consistency and discipline will take you way further than talent. You all need to be consistent with the thing. Don't come and use the olive oil for 1 week and say, this ain't working. All they impatient, bad enough. All they taking nonsense. Years, all they take stupidness. They get all their foolishness to take in some cases. I telling all you. Plain talk. Stupidness all they get. And all they ask a question, all they complain. People tell all they drink olive oil, they drink the olive oil for a week and you're quarreling. Oh God, this ain't work. You now start. A week. You gotta get it. Yeah, a week is long for some people, and yeah, a week is long for some people. No, you have to think consistency and discipline. That is what you have to remember. With the water too. I remember telling her, she's Dr. Batson, this water thing ain't working, you know. I said, how long you drinking more water now? It's about 10 days now. I said, listen to me. How long I put you on a water cleanse for? I had a client who came to me. I had to put that woman on a water cleanse for 2 months, you know. That's the longest water cleanse I ever gave anybody. She was so toxic. Yeah. So toxic. I say, if I give you anything else inside of here, you in problems, you call in my office. I say, so you're going to drink alkagen water for the next 2 months. She said, Dr. Batson, I have to go to a wedding. I say, why when all of y'all have to lose weight is our wedding, all they're going to? Why they don't lose weight for funeral? All they want to lose, why they don't lose weight for all they going funeral? No, they going wedding. Or they want to lose weight. They don't plan to go funeral. Well, that's it. That's my thinking. But I just gave them some trouble. All of them, everybody who want to lose weight, all they come in a month before the wedding. Dr. Batson have a wedding to go through. All they know the people send invitation. When people get married, you get invitation, what, 6 months now? 4 months? How long you know you have to go to a wedding? They should do funerals like that with the way people eat. Well, exactly so. Some people, the way they eat, they might have a fair idea when the funeral is, you know. You could estimate. Yeah. So don't wait until the wedding is a month before to come to confuse my soul. Please don't do me that. And say, Dr. Batson, I have a wedding to go have a dress to fit in. I need to lose 30 pounds. Excuse me? There's not a place you could go by. I don't do them thing. Next question.
Let me see. Can you please explain what is healing crisis a little more, please?
Okay. All right. So, healing crisis is when toxins try to leave your body faster than your body is capable of dealing with it. Simplest analogy I could use, all of us in the national. Okay, World Cup going on now. Those national stadium in Qatar, 60,000, 80,000, 120,000 people.
Yes, France is playing Poland right now.
Yes, they are. Good. France, yeah. So the thing is, something happened in the stadium. Let me say the stadium catch a fire, God forbid. Everybody trying to pass through. You see the door they have in all your house? Everybody in that stadium trying to pass through that door at the same time. That is healing crisis. That's the best visual, that's the best analogy I could give you all. Toxins trying to leave your body faster. The door cannot facilitate that stampede of people. What's going to happen? People will fall on top of one another. They will mash up and all kind of thing. Because it has to be gradual. Do you know that toxins, some of the toxins that you're carrying in your body is not toxins? Okay, so let's say I'm 43 years. Let's say I didn't used to do cleanse and detox. Some of y'all carrying 43 years of toxins inside of you. Depending on your age, that is the amount of toxins and rubbish you carrying. And based on the conversation that we had earlier, depending on your job, you carrying some kind of thing inside of you like lead and arsenic, cyanide and all kind of thing inside of you, you know. So how do you think your body? Why you think fat? You know why a lot of people just get obese? Because your body uses fat as a buffer so that you do not die. A lot of things, fat stores. Fat is like, how to put it, boy? Fat is the best warehouse.
Yeah.
Because it buffers your body. Fat is a buffer in the body, you know. So a lot of times when you put it on weight, especially, you notice where weight like to come? By your midsection. Why you think when your belly get big is the hardest thing to go down? Because all the toxins gone there to live. Them fellas moving inside of there, you come in to try to move them out now, they're tolerating you. Because the toxins your body store toxins in your tissues. I remember I was telling you all, with these polar ice caps that melting now, they did some research where they found pathogens. They actually found bacteria, you know, parasites that are millions and millions of years old, and they're in good condition. Yeah. So that is what's going on. So that is what causes healing crisis. You need to get it gradually out of the system. Could you mop your bedroom? Could you mop your entire house with a cup of water?
No.
Okay, good. I see I just gave all the analogy. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. The water is not enough. So when you hear I telling you all to drink water and I'm making us that noise about drink water, it's not because I'm miserable and I feel to talk. It is a fact. I know exactly what I'm telling you all. Hydration is everything. So once you drink the water, we get the thing. So we start to soften up the process. When your parents long time, old people are real sense, you know. Before you got purged long time, you used to get what? Cooling. They take a hops bread, they burn the hops bread, and they put it in a mug of water. You know how much of that I drink? You get 9 days of aloes. And then after the 9 days of aloes, they give salt. The thing is, we know better Epsom salt. Now you have to be careful with that. You have to be very careful with Epsom salt because Epsom salt, could damage the lining of your intestines. I'm not saying it is not good enough because there are instances where people who came to me and the situation was so grave that they had to use some Epsom salt mixed with something, you know. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. So I had no choice in the matter. But I am saying to you that anytime you got detoxes long time and purge long time, your parents give you cooling. There was a reason why we had cooling, and cooling was always 9 days. I said, well, what is wrong with all of them in this 9 days cooling? You're drinking hops bread and water 9 days. You're taking aloes 9 days, and then you get your purge. There was a reason for that. So now I'm telling you all, water, we know even better now. The water is vitally important. Hydration is everything. Try it. According to people, try it. You're going to like it. Next
Dr. Batson, unfortunately, we are
out of time. Yeah, because I now look at my phone here. I say, but this gentleman.
Last time I watched it, I see 7:11. I say, all right.
Yeah.
We have a final game, man. Yeah. Time come and gone.
Yeah, so let me very quickly say, those telephone numbers, keep in mind the offices and the locations. We have gotten your products. So please call. You know, the people say call first. Call first. And make sure, Miss Eleanor, the whole office is on high alert with those teas that we would have gotten. So we're trying our best to facilitate persons. So just make sure and call, and, you know, we'll organize you all how we're supposed to organize you all, right? Keep in mind those telephone numbers, rather, and locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We're also on the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. We also at Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number for St. James is 220. That's 220-8113. I'm actually working St. James tomorrow, please God. Tobago is the triangle building, rather, in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Debe is corner Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That is 223-7515, 223-7515. And Chaguanas is Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. That number is 222-8261. Again, 222-8261. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson & Associates. And as we always say at Batson & Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. May God bless you and your family. So it was a pleasure to be in your company as usual. Till next week, please God.
Definitely.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Yes, social media. So you all see, we had a lot of questions there. Good morning, my 5-year-old has the cold and fever for the 3rd time. What herbal products can you give him? This is Chin Chin. If your 5-year-old having the cold and they're having persistent, they're getting it this often, I suggest the silver with the mineral formula and the resveratrol. There's a product we have that has resveratrol in it. It's a kind of berry product that is actually going to help with that situation. Okay. Okay, so Ms. Vidya Subnat, she said, hi, Doc, visited your St. James office on Friday. I got some items and started using it. However, I have a dry cough. What can I use? I got cerebral and virus stand. Still, have to get more products. Awaiting your reply. Okay, a dry cough. The thing is, normally when you have a dry cough, that could be a sign of what we call post-nasal drip. So I would recommend, well, you have the virus stand. So what I suggest you do with it, use the virus stand, but when you use it, drink some warm water with it. And that is going to help the situation. Miss Vidya Subanat? Yes, Miss Subanat. So I heard you were able to, I hope you were able to hear that, right? Miss Marshall says, Doc, how does olive oil affect your cholesterol? It actually helps to keep the cholesterol down. Olive oil, once it's the correct olive oil, we're going to be getting some of that in a little bit too just now. Miss Jacqueline A. Noel says people with mental problems can also break up their marriage. You're sure right about that? Definitely. Okay, guys, Miss Jessie Boudou, I'm watching live from Narayan Boudou and Associates. Hey, nice, man. Someone is asking the question on Instagram. Hi, good morning. My 7-year-old always has white color spots on his face. Any advice here? He needs a detox. I would recommend the Alkagen water, Santulan, and the silver with the mineral formula. Okay? That's going to help you guys. So what we're going to do, I supposed to give you all a live. I wouldn't be able to give you all one this evening. However, sometime during the week, I'm going to speak with Mr. Shakil, and we're going to try and see if we could give you all one sometime in the week apart from Thursday. But I will make sure and announce it for you guys. Miss Arlene George is asking, Dr. Batson, what type of baking soda to use? The one in the orange box is quite good. That's a good brand. People talk about aluminum and aluminum baking soda. Chemically cannot have aluminum in it. They're mixing up baking soda with baking powder. All right, that's a good one. Next year, please God, we'll also be getting a brand of that as well, which is going to be the organic one. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, good morning, Doc. From what time will you be in St. James tomorrow? God's willing, I should be in St. James tomorrow, please God, from 11 till about maybe 7, somewhere around there. All right. So Facebook family, remember, like us, share us, And we're going to have some interesting incentives coming up in a little bit. I actually have some ideas how to talk to Shakila about as regards to that. But like us, share us, leave a comment. Ms. Hazel Cummins says, I had a Santulan question previously. Ms. Cummins, what's the question? Could you type it in for me there? And I'll address it for you before I leave. Ms. Elizabeth Nanlal, Doc, great program as usual. Let Ms. Ramnan tell you of my great results yesterday. We'll be taking up products for my family tomorrow. Okay, great, Ms. Nanlal. Ms. Nanlal, pleasant good day to you. And thank you very much. You know why I tell you thank you. I enjoyed everything. Thank you so very much. Safe travels to you. Okay, Esme Phil is saying, what can you use for bleeding in the eyes? Okay, so if you have a bleeding in the eye situation, let me tell you something. That is nothing to play with. You need to come and have a consultation or call and let us do a consultation for you. Because that is not only the eye optics formula, you're also going to have to use a number of things that help with that blood circulation in the brain. Very important. Okay? Miss Sonia McKee-John, are there different types? We'll love to know. Oh, that's the baking soda. Oh, yeah. There are different types. What I could do for you, because I'm very careful when I call brands, because I don't want to, give myself any kind of law suit situation. But as I said, the Orange Box, which is the Arm & Hammer, that's a good brand. There are others that may be based on, I could always do some research and I could let you guys know. We'll be getting one next year, please God. There's an organic line. So I could always notify you when we get those. Mrs. The comment says, how long should I do a Santulan cleanse for? How many packs for a complete cleanse? We normally recommend 4. However, you can use Santulan longer depending on your goals. If you're looking at maybe wanting to lose weight, you have a problem because some people have a lot of toxins rather in the body, and they might require a longer cleansing process than someone else. That's something to take into consideration. And Ms. Jennifer Valentine says, Doc, what is good for someone with low platelets? With low platelets, they need to boost, so they need nutrient-dense greens. So like a greens formula, something with chlorophyll, wheatgrass, spirulina, those type of things. That will help. You're very welcome, Miss Hazel Cummins. Pamela Moses says, have a good day, Doc, and reach home safe. Thank you so very much, Miss Moses. I hope all is well with you and your husband, your family. Good. So we will be seeing you guys next week. I had a situation Thursday, so I did not do program on Thursday. So God's willing, this Thursday I should be on. And if I don't do something for you before Thursday, then I may double up next week Sunday for you. And I do a live in the night again. All right, we're going to decide that. So it was a pleasure being in your company as usual. Keep in mind, yes?
Keep in mind our Christmas special ends in December, the 23rd of December, right? By the way, we have a pensioner special that's going on for all our pensioners. I know we in this time of the month where it's close to Christmas and such, but we do have a pensioner special for our pensioners. And we also have a detox package and a carnival package coming up.
Right. So let's see. Shaki, next week, Shaki, you're going to do program with me. Yeah, so the pensioner special, keep in mind, Santulan, remember Christmas coming. Even if you have your little 3 bottles of water or 6 bottles of water and your 2 pack of Santulan, do not allow the Christmas to catch you off guard, because you know you're going to be eating, you're going to be going dinners, you're going to be going all where you're going, and you need to address that. Okay? So, as we always, hey, Annabelle Bay boy, how you doing, young lady? I hope you're good. I haven't seen you in a while. You're getting your Tobago office up and running next year. Please God, I'm so glad for that. Tobago, you guys going to be very, very impressed. All right. Miss Sonia McKee-John, all these white spots all over my body, inherited or a deficiency? I believe it. I mean, sometimes depending on your ancestry, you may have a situation where you kind of could end up with some hyperpigmentation and those type of things. But generally, I've found when you do work on your liver and you do different cleanses and those type of things, it helps. So that's what I would suggest. Annabelle Bay says, I am blessed. So glad to hear that. Miss Gemma Casti said, Doc, I am having burning under my toes. What can I do for it? Burning on their toes, alkagen water, inflammation formula, circulation T. That's what you're going to use there. Okay? So, people, God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Remember, on Thursday, we have program from 11 to 11:30. I'm going to say 30 for now. I know we have to verify that time. We also have Freedom 106.5 FM, which is going to be from 1...
Well, it's a 45-minute session.
Right, so it should be from 1:15 to 2. And then we'll be going with DJ Mamu, most likely from 2:15 to about 3:15. All right, so we'll be here. Tell who you need to tell, advise who you need to advise, and let's go from there.
And thank you for being part of Batson Associates community.
Yes, definitely. Thanks so very much for that. Okay, Miss Lisa, Lisa, don't want me to go. Lisa, say one last question, Dr. Batson. I have yellow bumps on my eyelids. They say it's xanthalacia. What can help? The eye drops. The eye optics formula will help you. The eye optics formula and the silver gel. You're going to have to apply the silver gel under the eyelids and use the eye drops in your eye. 2 drops morning and evening. 2 drops morning and evening. And you apply the silver gel under the eyelids. And that should help you. Yes.
Can we take this one more?
Yes, go ahead.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Miss Marshall. Doc, I have a burning under my toes. What can I do for it? Okay, yeah, that's as I said, the water, the alcogen water, inflammation formula, and circulation tea. That's going to help you. All right. Ms. Jacqueline A. Noel asks, what is silver for? Silver is for the immune system. One of the best things to boost the immune system. If you have very sick children with asthma and problems, breathing and that type of thing, silver with mineral formula. I tell you, in a month time, you don't have that problem again. Okay. Miss Eve says, good morning, watching from Canada. Okay, guys, so it was nice. As usual, remember, those telephone numbers, remember we have our road delivery, so feel free to call. The number for Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Remember, we have our online consultation. Yes, you can order from the US. Miss Erica McCartney. You need to call 868-314-9975. Miss McCartney, so you can call 868-314-9975. Okay, guys? So you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to ensure that I eat something. I'm very hungry. And till next week, please, God, see you guys. God bless, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, Miss Valentine. Miss Valentine, you look so lovely in your picture. Happy belated birthday to you, and may God continue to bless you. And I wish you to have many, many, many more. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.